Yeah, but he sacrifices again, but it's not a sacrifice, it's a double attack.
If Height does not win this is such a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Oh, but he could even lose this. 98!
No! That's too much!
David, I don't know what to say.
Today, the queen is going to be chased by a swarm of angry bees. Well, actually a swarm of angry minor pieces. We're going to look at a queen battling against the minor pieces, and most of today is going to be a queen versus two minor pieces, but occasionally, when you get...
Hello everyone, welcome back to another round of the Junior Speed Chess Championship presented by SIG, and I'm back with Keti.
Yes, we're back, and Shri, I'm so excited to see the games of these two junior players. We know Arjun perfectly well, and everyone who follows this channel on YouTube and Twitch, they know Arjun perfectly well. He's a rising star, already star maybe. A lot of chess figures have mentioned about him that he's gonna be really strong chess player. But we have here another junior international master, Denis Lazavik. We don't know much about him, Shri, right? And just before this stream, I asked, what do you know about him? And can you also tell to our opponents who is Arjun's
So Denis Lazavik, he's a very strong junior from Belarus. I first saw him in the World Youth Olympiad in Turkey, also where I met Divya and Arjun for the first time ever, And he played against Divya in the tournament. He went on to defeat Divya. He's just 16 years old. He's not even 18 years old. And he's probably the best junior from his country, from what I know. And he's pretty strong. He's rated about 2480 FIDE, and he's about 2900 in Blitz. But aside from all his fantastic achievements, he also defeated me in the last Title Tuesday. So I think that tops it all in a Catalan opening game.
Oh, in Catalan! Oh no! Oh no! What you can say about him? He's strong in tactics. He's fast opponent, or he's more like classical opponent. How you felt when you were playing against him?
So I think he has a pretty good technique from what I noticed. He's good with the typical Soviet school. He's good with technique. He's good with strategic play. He's good with the end games in general. So I would say these are his strengths. His weaknesses used to be openings. He was pretty bad in openings back in 2018. And find a weakness of him and go into that. But I think he must have improved a lot in recent times. But in any case, I think there will probably be one or two areas of chess where Arjun might be more experienced as far as this matchup is concerned. And I think Arjun is a huge favorite in this match.
I see. And what do you think? Which portion of the tournament Arjun is the more favorite, like in the Blitz portion 5+1, or the other Blitz portion 3+1, or in the Bullets portion?
I think Arjun's probably has his best chances in the 1+1 portion, but I don't know. I felt the same way about Nihal in the previous match, but he ended up kind of winning the match before the 1+1 portion started. But yeah,
that was crazy.
he was dominating in the 3+1.
was played the last move. Rook is under attack. I'm thinking, how about rook d3, rook h3, and then to go after h7. But it's like Arjun brought the rook.
Oh
back
yeah,
on
a
d1.
lot changed. A lot changed as I was, just trying to have a look at the chat. A lot of different things changed. It looks like Black is doing quite okay, Katie. The 5+1 portion. Arjun is again the favorite here, but I think Dennis would also fancy his chances here and try to at least emerge with an equal score, if not a lead. And 3+1 is, I think, the biggest test because 3 minutes is a tricky format. We have all started out playing chess, beginning with 5 minutes each, the blitz time control, and I think we probably also play quite a bit of bullet in between, the 1 minute time control. It just happens. You just want to play some chess and you just go and click on bullet. But the 3 minutes portion is quite tricky because you can't play too fast, but you can't play too slow either. So you have to find an optimal balance, which requires a lot of practice.
Yeah. That's actually true. Talking about this position, I really liked Black's perf bishop. They were dominating, but now as the dark square bishop is gone, Arjun brings the light square bishop from a2. It was like in the edge of the board. Now he wants to activate this bishop, and very likely he can challenge the e4 Black's bishop, and then to try to expose the position more. And now e5, here we have, I'm not a big fan of these pawns on the 5th rank. To me, they seem to be weaknesses in the future, in the end game even.
I think you're absolutely right, Katie. These pawns, we had something similar in VD's game yesterday against Jeffrey Chong. He had this pawns. It was also the same opening, the Tromposky attack. And that game was a bit different though. White got a pretty swift attack and was able to finish it off. This game is quite different in that sense, I think. Yes, what you said is true. If we go to the endgame, these will be weaknesses, but we are not going to go into the endgame anytime soon, I think. We are still pretty much in the middle game. These files are open and very nice targets for Black. On the other hand, White has a G file open, but the pieces don't have access to Black's king. So practically, I find Black's position a lot easier to play. Rook a8 and Rook into a3 coming in, Katie. Oh, why do they miss these things with strong players? If I had played this, he would have found this Rook a8. If I had played b3, b3 was such a bad move, a terrible move, a blender. And it went...
c4, queen e5, c takes d3, and then they take c2.
Wait, b5. Oh my gosh. He's losing a piece. And look at him. He looks away. He can't believe it.
Oh my god.
Nihal trying to give checks, but actually now the pawn is moving forward. The pawn cannot be stopped. Bishop d6.
Oh, you win the time!
He loses on time.
What did we just witness? I think that White's position is about to collapse.
Yeah, but he sacrifices again, but it's not a sacrifice.
God.
It's a double attack.
Today, the queen is going to be chased by a swarm of angry bees. Well, actually a swarm of angry minor pieces. We're going to look at a queen battling against the minor pieces, and most of today is going to be a queen versus 2 minor pieces, but occasionally, when you give away your queen, you get 3 bumblebees, and I would say 3 bumblebees can overwhelm a queen most of the time. Now, before we get started,
welcome back, guys. Welcome back, and apologies for the small delay in the stream. But we are back. We are good, and we are sorted. And during the interval, things haven't gone great for Arjun at the moment. There were a lot of things which were a lot of interesting things which were missed by the chat during that little unintended break. But don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. The stream's going to be all interesting all the way through from here on.
Yes, and here we have Arjun who needs to support Sri. He lost the first game. He's struggling the second game too. So we need every and each of you to support Arjun to take the lead in this match. And now E4 pawn is gone, but still it's not the best situation for Black.
Yes, it hasn't got better because there's this knight on e6, which is like a monstrous knight. It's like I don't know what you compare it to. It's like having this very unpleasant thing in your place, yeah, which doesn't allow you to move anywhere. And white has access to the c file, full access, which is the route towards black's king. So he takes it. He goes rook c8. And as I mentioned at the beginning, Denis is really good with strategic technique. He's good at feeling the harmony between his pieces. He's good with basic endgame things. He's a good strategic player. I think he's a bit underrated in general. With 2480, he should be about 2550. He's about grandmaster strength. And Arjun, so far, he seems to be a bit tired from looking at his first two games. He seems to be a bit tired, and I'm also curious to know if I don't know. The mouse slip also felt, but his internet connection seems good. He's playing from Menorca, which is an island in Spain, where he just played and finished this tournament, which was won by Gukesh yesterday. And a bunch of strong Indian players played in this tournament. So he's playing from there, which was also the same place where Nihal streamed from.
Okay. So for Nihal, it was not an issue of internet. Do you think it might be an issue for Arjun for this time? Or
no, I think his internet is excellent. I just checked this ping. It's 56 milliseconds, which is something like a dream in. Oh no! He missed. What did he miss there?
There was a checkmate.
What did they miss? Rook h8 check. There was rook h7. Yeah. Rook h8 check. Rook h7.
Oh my god. Maybe knight f8, knight g6, and then.
So rook h8 check, rook h7, and it's not so clear. Not so easy to find with a few seconds. Yeah. And now rook d1 check, and it's game over. So Arjun is back into this fight, guys. Arjun has equalized 1-1, and so far it sets an interesting pattern. Arjun, they are playing slowly. They are taking their time, and they get into these 10 seconds each duels, and from there it just gets totally random. Arjun blended in the first game from a very nice and promising position. And in the second game, it was Denis who did exactly the same. So the match tied at 1-1, almost justifiably so. And this has been the pattern so far in this match.
I can say, Sri, that when you lose the game like this, white lost, or Denis lost with knight on e6, as you call monstrous. When you can just call monster like a male version, but you call it a female version.
No. That's not a female version, no.
That's how I got it. But when you lose this kind of games, when your opponent could not barely move, then myself, I found it hard to come back to the reality. But here at this point, the engine says that Black is having very good advantage. They played really fast this opening. What's going on?
Yes, it was this English opening, and I guess the critical point was at this point when Black got this pawn to e4. And the problem now for White is Black has all these pawns in the center, which especially control this d3 point. And without this d3 point, it's not so easy to develop this bishop. The b point is blocked. And anyway, b3 is not such a great move in general. But he can't get this bishop out here to b2. And on the other hand, the other option is d3, but that's also controlled by Black. But maybe he need not have given up this pawn, Maybe he could have defended this pawn with something like b6 and still done the same thing, because now he's a pawn down. He has a lot of activity. It's a nice position, but he need not have given up that pawn. And Arjun never needs a second invitation to capture pawns. He's very materialistic. You give him a pawn, he's going to grab it.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Like what I have seen so far in the first game, he was capturing every pawn possible. Like he likes to take the pawns which are free. But this one on c5 seems to be really free pawn and really nice pawn. And Shri, you know what? If you attack this knight by the queen, you can always play d4 and guard this piece by the pawn. And if he takes d4 with en passant, you can bring this knight back on d3 and just try to develop your pieces in this way.
Yes, I think that's a pretty nice way out for white. So he can play d4 at any point, and he would be able to complete his development. But on the other hand, maybe with black, I ignore it, go some b6 and bishop a6, try and
yeah, chat just explains what you said and what I thought. Hey, that's true. That is true. I thought you said monstrous knight on e6, and I was like, all right. Knight c6, knight is back. Here's a question: how white is going to develop his queen side? Probably with the b4, bishop b2, and then the king side with bishop e2 and castle. And then you can think of moves like f4, f3.
Yeah, true. But you have some immediate problems to solve as white now, yeah? Would you go d4 here anyway?
Go d4 here, yes. I would go d4. Just to challenge the center. Because e4 pawn...
And bring your knight back?
Yeah. Because this e4 pawn can cost me a lot of problems on the king side when I castle. He goes b4.
Yeah, I guess the problem with d4 was that I'm not sure. I'm not sure what was the problem. It doesn't look apparent, but he prefers to go with the b pawn, and white still has development problems to solve.
Yeah.
There is still bishop g4, knight e5, rook a c8, bishop g4, and rook c8.
Yeah.
So how is white going to bring out his bishops? But what I observed so far, Katie, is that it doesn't feel like Denis is the underdog at all so far from the games. It feels like he's going to match Arjun evenly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
From the first two games, it doesn't even feel like Arjun is the clear favorite, because they have been so evenly matched in terms of the strength of their moves and in the chances that they have created so far. Why does the chat think you look different?
I don't know. That's what I was reading, and I wanted to check why I look different. Yes, you guys, explain yourselves. What do you mean? I don't know about my look, but I really like these cameras that we have, so you can check out how these players are reacting with the moves, with the blunders and with the good moves. And also we can see that on the background of Denis, there is a lot of medals and the cups which he got probably from chess tournaments.
Indeed, it's such a nice background, a nice camera. As far as the camera game is concerned, I think Denis has already won. And Nihal was streaming from the same spot, but his video looked a bit better. So it feels like I really need to go and teach Arjun how to get a good camera for his next matches.
Yeah, true.
The light square bishops are getting exchanged, Katie, but now this just leaves the d3 square so open to the black's knight. Another monstrous knight on the 6th rank.
Yeah, just you can take this bishop here. You can play knight e5 right away. and then bring his knight on d3. I really don't know why he did not push d4 at the right moment. If he going to push d4 now, then it takes d3, and Pasan will be just a pawn. Queen goes to g5. Now Black wants to take bishop on e2 and then g2 pawn.
Did you say Prague?
Prague? No.
I thought I heard Prague wants to take the bishop on e2, and I was like, what?
Oh, I said Black wants.
Black wants to take. Oh, okay. I just heard Prague. And
Prague is doing amazing at his tournament, so I really support him. He's playing like a boss.
what's going on here? Knight c3 played. How do you win as Black here, Katie? I'll leave it up to you because you're the master of attack. The master of attack. How do I say it? The female mistress of attack. I don't know if that sounds right.
I think Queen H 95. Okay.
95. Threatening knight d3 check, attacking f2. And if the white king runs to castle, then knight f3 check. And knight f3 check. Or do you start with queen h4 and then go knight f3 check after h3? I think you start with queen h4, h3, knight f3 check, and that's
yeah, but how about knight e4 here? Just take e4 pawn?
That could very well be what Arjun Erigaisi does, but then I thought at the very least you have some knight d3 check, king f1 and queen f5. And if you go king e2, then maybe queen b5.
Queen b5. Here.
Queen b5 double check, knight f4, knight into g2, mates and stuff. Arjun realizes that his position is so terrible in any case, so he might as well go down swinging hard. But now Black has a threat of knight into c1 check, he has a threat of knight into f2 check. White has to perhaps play something like a4 here.
King f3, that's...
Queen f5 check and you lose the e4 knight. Knight into f2 now. Queen e5 check. Oh yeah, queen e4, queen e5 check and queen into a1. Now just queen e5 check and take on e1. And you still have that dominating knight on d3. So, GG.
Yeah, that's very strong. It's very strong knight. So here we had resignation. Wow. Quite a tough start for Arjun. 2 points for Denis. 1 point for Arjun. But he's not showing much of the emotions. It's just looks, or the cameras are just frozen. The cameras are just frozen.
I think Arjun came up with a really clever strategy for this match. He didn't want to reveal his expressions to his opponent, so he kind of went into an invincible mode. And he set up his lights in such a way that, you have to have your camera for the fair play. So he just set up his lights in such a way that he goes completely invisible. His opponent cannot see his expressions. And bingo. That's Arjun's Grandmaster move before the match.
Yeah. Well, it's not like big difference, right, between these points. So he has nothing to worry about. He's just 1 point down.
Yes, it's not a big difference in points, Katie, but for me, what worries me is so far the quality of play. It's excellent quality of play from Denis, and it's been pretty unconvincing from Arjun. Of course, the excellent quality of play from Denis, I totally expected it. I think he's pretty strong. He plays. I have a lot of respect for Denis with regard to his chess playing skills, but Arjun can probably play even better. But so far, he hasn't been able to bring his A game nor his B game, and he seems to be playing like at least 100 points below what he's capable of.
Yeah, I agree with that. Shreya, you're an expert of this opening, and how this b5 move works in here? Is not it too dangerous to push these pawns on the queen side too much, and white have this bishop on g2 and...
It can be pretty tricky, Katie, because if you go for it and it works, then it can get very tricky with the white pieces. Your position can go bad really fast with white. You can like you are a pawn down, you have sacrificed a pawn for long-term compensation, but in some cases you can lose control in such a bad way that black gets a better position straight out of the opening. So it requires a concretely correct way to handle things with the white pieces. And in blitz, it can sometimes be very tricky to find the best move when you don't know what the move is in that position.
True, true. For instance, like this now, Queen d5, Arjun clearly knows what he's doing. Myself, I would be worried to play this move. I would play rather bishop e7 to develop my queen side pieces. But yeah, he's going for queen d5 now. Do you think black can play bishop d6 now to chase the white's queen? Or what can be his next moves?
Yeah, he would go for bishop d6, I think. Then now white would go for queen g4 now because the g7 pawn is no longer protected. G6 and now just castle shot. And although black is a pawn up, black has a lot of problems. The dark squares. Again, apologies, chat, for the board is frozen, but it will get unstuck pretty soon. Meanwhile, perhaps what you can do is go to chess.com/live and follow Arjun's game and just hear the commentary in the background while now the board's fixed. The board's fixed, and there are some serious problems for black here. All the pawns on the light squares on the king side, holes on f6, h6 for the white's pieces. The queen side completely undeveloped. The pawns on c4, c6 weaknesses. Long term, it reeks of problems, And with bishop g5, white has set up a devilish trap here. White to play. Black avoids it for the moment, but white would go queen h4, and there is still this very dangerous and deadly threat. Do you see it, chat? Do you see it, which Arjun has stopped with h5?
I see the deadly threat.
You saw it?
To trap the queen, right?
Yes. Okay. You trap the queen with e4.
Yeah, now if e4, then h5 was played because after e4, now g4 square is secured for white's queen. That's why he played very fast this move. But I really worry here what happens after bishop f6, for instance, if white gets the right, black loses the right to castle. Also, knight d2, I like this move to open up the bishop, attacking c4 pawn, and at some point, white will struggle with the queen. Sorry, black will struggle with this queen on f5.
The point is already here, I guess, yeah. And look at the beauty of white's pieces. Every piece playing in the game. Black's pieces, on the other hand, is like how I am in the mornings. They've just not woken up yet.
Let's look once again at Arjun's camera. It's really him. It makes me feel someone else is playing this game this much. It's really him. It's really him. You can see on camera, but the way how he's playing, he's getting really bad position in the openings, right?
Yeah, I think he's just mentally exhausted. He has had a lot of tournaments in recent times. He started off with he's been playing tournaments since February, Keti, pretty much non-stop.
No, that's a lot of time. That's a lot of
time.
And
you would think that, also people, when they are 18 years old, they just don't understand the concept of being tired. So they schedule things in such a way that sometimes they just overextend themselves. At our age, I think we have a better understanding. Yeah, we'll be like, oh no, I'm not doing this. It's too tiring, and or maybe it doesn't apply to streamers.
We do. Okay, actually, when you were saying that, I'm starting to laugh because today in the morning I started to stream on my channel. That I switched to Chess Kit to host the show, and then I just ran into this one. So. Yes, we manage our schedule better when we are older. True. We're not getting exhausted.
Except when you're not streaming, yeah?
Yes. Except that. Okay, he sacrificed f6 pawn, and that's the reason, because he's looking for some counterplay. He wants to have open f5 for the rook. And then at some point, if white is not careful, f2 pawn might be hanging with a check. So he's trying to find some counterplays, but it costs him a lot of pawns. And look at these other pawns who are still alive. They are so weak. C6, E6, G6. Not pretty.
Yes, Katie. It's a terrible picture. Rook c1 now, short castle. I guess Arjun will be happy that he kind of made it out alive in the position instead of getting mated. But on the other hand, he's paid one hell of a price to get there, and it just doesn't look pretty at all for. It doesn't look pretty at all for black.
True. Shri, in our comment section here, there is a comment about the score. You guys, there is this blue marks here with the score, but also the other scores which are automatically getting updated is right next to the players' names. So for now, it's 2 for Denis and 1 for Arjun, and you guys can take a look at the scores there.
F4, such a nice move, preventing black from playing e5, fixing the pawn on the light squares. So Denis has got his technique worked out, and now king to d2, covering the e3 square. Maybe he will go e4 next, dislodge the knight from d5, get the king on to e3. It's a position which I'll be very safe to leave it with Denis if I was the captain of the team. Rook c5, the other rook to c1. You get this pawn to e4 next. Even with 1 minute, it's completely safe for white, I think, because he's fast. He's one of these kids. He's trained to play in these time trouble situations. He's sharp. He's fast, and he's got a good technique naturally.
Yeah, I agree. I like this, the way how he's playing. He tries to avoid all the threats that black is putting up. H3, Arjun is trying just like take this pawn on h file, let me to have open h file for my rook, but while it avoids that, he played bishop to f3. Now king goes on e3 and b3. So I think this b3 is just to open up the b4 square for the rook. Maybe rook
yes, but if you move the rook from you just lose the pawn on b3. And rook into b3, bishop into b3, rook b6, and now perhaps rook c3.
Yeah, just to guard like that. And look at
just
this
play rook c3, king d2, and take that pawn on h3 too.
Yeah.
King d2 is still tempting, rook into d4, rook d3, but maybe that's just stupid to give up a pawn like that.
Okay, where he's going by the king. Like, I just realized now the bishop is stuck because it's pinned. Rook is also stuck, and d4 pawn now can be dropped.
Exactly, but you have so many pawns, so you can afford to drop that pawn. And in the endgame, this bishop is so much superior to the knight. So that's the problem that black has, and he waited for the black king to drop to d7 to do this rook d3. So when you get to this endgame, the black king is worse placed. Bishop c4 and bishop b5 now, I expect. I think bishop's e5, preventing the black king from going to d6. g5, king e4 should be okay, I think. King e4, j into f4, king into f4. Not the most convincing conversions here by Denis.
d2. And
bishop goes to e2. g5 now. Okay, so he just wanted to protect the g4 pawn. Yeah. And now you see this bishop is so much stronger than the knight, Katie. So he just goes b4, creates that passer on the rook file. Now b4, and then this a pawn is just unstoppable. Bishop to b5. Just go for bishop to b5. Okay, bishop d1. King to b5, yes. a6, and this pawn is just faster. Knight d6 check, king c6, knight c8, king c7. And now the g pawn starts getting pushed, and this bishop can just stop the h pawn from f3 whenever required. So Arjun's still fighting valiantly, but it's game over.
it's game over, and yeah, they had like several seconds, so it takes more time to resign than to lose on time. And the game has been aborted. Do you think they have break now?
Yes, they have break, I guess, at the 45-minute mark, the 5+1 portion, to take the chat quickly through. The 5+1 portion consists of 90 minutes. So at the 45-minute mark, we have a break, kind of a halftime. And after the 90-minute 5+1 portion, we have the 3+1 portion for the next 60 minutes. And then we end with the 1+1 portion for the last 30 minutes. And the winner is the one who scores the highest cumulatively from all the formats together. There's no different weightages for different formats.
Yep. And the score now is 3-1 in favor of Denis Lazavik, the 18-year-old chess player. They both very quickly left.
He's actually only 16 years old, I later realized. He's 3 years younger than Arjun.
Okay. Okay, Arjun is having the bottle of water now, just getting some energy. So you said that yesterday was the last game, and probably he was partying. That's why he's tired today. Or you don't believe in that?
I'm not sure. He's 18 now, so I can't really predict what he would do, he wouldn't do. It's not like, when he was 14 and then I could say, oh, he wouldn't do that.
Yeah. True. So they have this break, and they will use some time to just to refresh a little bit. I think, to get some energy. I think they are not going to see the openings how to play. They just rather walk or get some snacks maybe. So waiting for the next games to start. Yeah, this is this scenario that we could not imagine could happen. But seems like Denis is very well prepared for this match.
I'm not surprised, I would say, Katie. I'm not surprised by how well Denis has played, but I'm a bit surprised by Arjun's play so far. He can do a lot better. And I think during the break, that's what he would be telling himself, He would be trying to kind of mentally refocus, mentally stabilize himself, and try and get back into shape. Meanwhile, chat, how is your mood and what do you think? Will Arjun be able to strike back within the 5+1 portion, or do you think it's going to continue towards the same trend? Do let us know in the chat. And any questions about the match, any questions about life in general, feel free to write in the chat. The live questions will be answered by Katie.
And chess questions goes to you. Yes.
You can answer the chess questions too. I don't mind. I'm just here to listen and soak in from your wisdom, the crocodile wisdom.
Thank you. Thank you, Sri. So there is a comment in. I see that GM is losing to International Master. You guys, they are both junior players. Junior players are very tricky. They might have less rating, they might have less title, but it can be different reasons for that. And please keep in mind that 2 years, all of us lived in the lives when we couldn't play over the board tournament. So that can be a big reason why Denis is International Master now. And not a great.
Yes, and also Denis is not like the kind of international masters you have probably watched on screen chat. He's clearly not one of those IMs who would play in the I'm not a GM tournament. He's going to be a grandmaster pretty soon.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure, because the way how he's playing, it's really nice. He's not making like big mistakes. He's trying to use the advantage he's having. So
yes, and he plays the Catalan opening with the white. What more do you need, Katie? Do I need to even say anything more?
True, that's the true thing. So yeah. When I watch this game, I can say that this. If I don't know about him, if I don't see the camera, I can say that this is like adult person, a grandmaster who knows what he's doing, the way he's playing.
Absolutely. And these days, when I see the camera, I have even more respect if it's a junior. With the older people, I'm a lot more comfortable playing against them. Against the juniors, it's scary. It's incredibly scary. The most scariest part about juniors, you're not sure what to expect from them. It's not completely clear. Like for example, when Aronian was playing against Arjun the previous year, against Magnus Carlsen, Aronian knows exactly what to expect. He knows how Magnus plays, what openings he has to prepare against, and he has pretty much all the things. So it's easier for him to mentally prepare himself and also prepare himself with the chess aspect. Whereas against Arjun, it's completely new information for him. He doesn't know what to expect. And I think this is one of the biggest advantages that the juniors have.
Yeah, I remember that that tournament and that match. We were doing the commentary together, and I remember how much Aronian was struggling against Arjun, and Arjun put up such a great fight. At some point, I was even sure that he was the one who was winning the match, because to me, Aronian seemed to be really like careful to play, and as you said, he didn't know what to expect, and it was a junior player who beat another strong player. So it's always a big challenge for all the chess players when you play against a younger opponent than you are. You never know what to expect from them.
The games have commenced again, by the way. The games have, we are back live. And Chad, again, what do you think? Are we going to see a comeback from Arjun? Or do you think the trend's going to be our friend here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good
What
question.
What do you think, Katie?
I voted already. I already voted.
Who did you vote for?
It's not an obvious, come on.
I voted for Dennis.
Really? I don't believe in that, but I can admit this because this is the first tournament when I learned about Arjun. I have heard about him from social media, but it was the first tournament when I saw him playing versus Aronian, and I was really impressed. And from that period, I'm his biggest fan. So
I'm his fan since 2018. So Arjun retaliates with the London system. Chat, good idea, bad idea? Are we pro London system, anti London system? What do you guys think? What's your opinion, Katie? Do you like the London system?
I'm D4 player, so for me, London system is just another line that I can play, and it's just I don't have very special feelings for this opening, and it can go in a right way for white, and it can be just nothing for white as well. So it's pretty much up to black how black will react. So
I'm a big fan of the London system, by the way.
You are?
Yes, I think it's a very easy opening to play. You just play d4, you develop the bishop to f4, pawns on e3, c3, another pawn on h3, knight to d2, knight to f3, and you have a nice position. It's one of the easiest openings to learn. You get a nice position, and it's used by some of the best players in the world. Magnus Carlsen's go-to opening. It's Nihal's go-to opening. He has scored so many wins in the London system, and it was even Michel Carr's opening, in the PogChamps. So it works from ages 8 to 80.
You follow everything.
As a coach, it's my job, and I also coach from all the different levels, from the highest to the lowest. So I try to keep myself updated with everything.
Oh, that's very impressive from you, Sri. Yeah, that's nice. I agree with this. It's easy to play, and you have one or two main plan, and it's easy to remember. So you don't have to remember all these crazy lines and the theory when you start to play chess or you're at some level. I think the London system is just fine. It's just fine, but in some positions I'm not getting too much of out of it. So yeah, that's why I'm not the London system player, but I can try my best.
I understand. But with time, I'm confident I can convert you.
Okay,
With time, a few wins,
let's say. Why now white played bishop to h4 because black wanted to trade the dark square bishop to reduce this advantage of white's pair of bishop, and Arjun played bishop to h4 to keep this bishop here, and it's just to have this opportunity of the bishops on the board. And now he brings another rook to a file. At some point, maybe he wants to take c5 pawn and then to play b4 and b5 right away. But for now, I think this is not the strongest threat for black, as black can take it with the bishop, and after b4, bishop b6 can be the move. Black can win at time.
Yes, black is under definite pressure on the e file, and so far the game has been easier to play with Arjun. He has some experience in this variation. He played this against Lucas Van Forest in the first round of Tata Steel Challengers. Whereas for Denis, I think it's a relatively unknown endgame from a concrete point of view. So in Blitz, it's also a very good idea to go into situations where you're more familiar. You can just play moves intuitively. So I think that's what Arjun has tried to go for here, and it's advantageous from that perspective, but also it feels really solid for black. No real weaknesses, and if you take the pawn on c5, you do end up trading a lot of pieces.
Yeah, that's right. I still like here white's structure more, and this bishop here, although the engine says that it might be a little bit pleasant for black. The reason of this might be this, some squares of the knight, maybe 95, 95. Also, the king is like a little bit more active. Entry. This is the 14th minute, so we do have last 10 minutes, right, for this portion. No,
we have 40 minutes more, Keti.
40 minutes more?
Yeah, it's 90 minutes. Yes, it's 90 minutes for 5+1.
10 minutes of this portion. Okay.
Yes. They allow the 5+1 portion. So I think it's kind of like the number of games. Yeah, you get something like 10 games in the 5+1. You get around 8 games in the 3+1, and in the bullet you kind of get like 16 games. So it's like equal amount of games in blitz and bullet almost, and you have kind of even test of all the different formats on the speed chess. So it's literally speed chess, and you get tested in all the different time controls within the speed chess format.
Yeah. Do you think if we have this tournament format, like starting the other way around, like first bullet section and then the 3+1 blitz and then 5+1, we might have some of the result matches different scenarios?
Yeah, I think it certainly would be different. It will change the equation quite a bit because again, having an advantage, it creates pressure on the opponent. So going into the lead is really useful. So for instance, if you're someone who is really good at bullet, let's say, imagine you're someone like Nihal and or Ali Reza, let's say.
Section. I kind of had this feeling that he played blitz, he spent all his energy, and then he was really tired in the bullet section.
Yeah, and also he had kind of won the match by that point. But and I think he was a big favorite in that match. But let's take a match where it was a big difference in strengths. Yeah, like I remember there was a match between Ali Reza and Aronian. And Ali Reza was not 2800 at that point. He was just entering the 2700 club. He was really, really strong, but he was not quite there at the elite yet. And Aronian, a very seasoned player, a constant in the elite tournaments, and he was the clear favorite. And in the 5+1 portion, Aronian showed exactly why he's such a legend. He just smashed Ali Reza. He took that portion with such a big score, a massive lead. And in the 3+1, Aronian still had a better score. But when the 1+1 started, it was completely different, a totally different story. Ali Reza reclaimed so many points. He managed to strike back, and he almost came close to saving that match. Now, if that match had started with 1+1 instead of 5+1, I think it would have turned things in favor of Ali Reza for that match, because that was his strength, and Aronian's strength was 5+1. And it really helps to start with a lead, I think, in the match format.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with this. The way how you start, it's very important how the match goes forward. So here we have this end game where Black has the isolated pawn on d5, White has the c3 pawn and this chain on the queen side, and Bishop versus the knight. Bishop might be a bit stronger here, but Black seems to control everything so far.
Yes, but as you pointed out, this d5 pawn, it's a bit worrisome, and now White has kind of seized control of the e file. Also, another important point is the pawn structure on the queen side. Yeah, like notice how Black's pawns are, the queen side and the center. The pawns on a6, b7, d5, all of them fixed on light squares. So if there ever comes a point where the white bishop reaches c8 and Black is not able to defend with his knight, then that's basically like unleashing the wolf on the on a pack of sheeps, and all those pawns are just going to fall instantly. So this is what White has been aiming for, and he strategically set up a superior position. Rook e7, rook d7. I think he should go into that endgame after a bit of thought, and it looks really dangerous for Black here.
Yeah, and you can go to like after rook e7. If king takes d7, you can even think to go to the pawn end game, because you might have their very good winning chances. Or if you take this rook, if there's not a winning in the pawn end game, maybe he will just be fine here.
It's a tricky decision to take with so few seconds, yeah, even for Arjun. Maybe I'll keep the bishop though. I'm not sure if I would be completely confident going into the pawn end game, because if you commit to it and if it doesn't work out, then you have no chances. But with the bishop and those pawns on b7 and a6, you have a stable advantage for sure. No questions asked.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe b5 now to try to push the pawns forward on the king side. Queen side. He's taking the pawn on d5.
Yeah, knight takes d5, king c4. You give up the f4 pawn, you go for the b7 pawn. You have to create passed pawns, and Denis got scared of that, so he refuses to take the d5 pawn. He wants to keep it, so this bishop on f3 cannot access the b7 pawn, and he's just going to try and keep this position. But at some point, Arjun will try to play that pawn to b5, b5. And if Black takes the pawn, then the white king goes to b6. If the Black doesn't take the pawn, then he will attack that a6 pawn with king d4, bishop d3, b into a3, b into a3. So now knight c8 is the only move to stop king b6, bishop f5 incoming. Knight e7, king bishop e6, taking control of the c8 square, and then the king goes to b6, takes the b7 pawn and wins. That's the game.
Wow, that's a nice technique. That's a nice technique here. King just gets this b7 pawn, and now a pawn is just unstoppable, and Black has to give up the knight for this, and it's game over.
Indeed, it's game over. Arjun strikes back with 3-2. And chat, do hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, so more people can tune in, and let's cheer for Arjun. Let's go for it, guys. Come on.
Come on. Yeah, I can see the video now that Denis is showing a bit of emotions when he's playing the end game. He's not very happy. He's shaking his head. And yeah, he has all the reasons for that. But Arjun is not showing any emotions.
Yeah, Arjun is like, he was probably very upset with himself, the way he played in the first 4 games. The quality of play was so much lower than what you would expect from Arjun, It was expected that Denis would play at around 2550, 2600 strength, and at least. And you wouldn't expect Arjun to drop below that. You wouldn't expect him to play like 100, 150 points lower, but that's what happened in the first 4 games. And that's the reason why Denis had such a fantastic lead, a 3-1 lead at the end of it. But Arjun coming back there with a trademark win, he showed such an excellent technique in that end game, and that will give him a lot of confidence, and it will start sowing a bit of doubts in Dennis's mind. And in this game, he has gone for the King's Indian defense, which is clever. He avoided the Catalan opening, Keti. Even for Arjun, he knows that against Catalan, there's only one possible result.
He knows the best from you, Shri, probably. So I really like King's Indian openings, but I do usually like this attack on the king side, like f5 and f4, and then to have this kind of attack on that side. Do you think he's going for that in this game, like 97, 98, and then f5?
It works nicely in these non-fianchetto openings, Katie, but in the fianchetto openings, like what we have in this game with 3g3, it's not a great idea. In general, 3g3 setup is very solid for white because it kind of offers you that additional protection on the king side, against the king. And out here, white has opened up the king side completely. All the files open. The rooks are ready, waiting to invade black's king side. So something like rook a7, the rook coming to c7, and all kinds of tactics happening. So knight a7, the knight coming to c6. Again, this is falling exactly into Denis's hands. Just the kind of position which he would enjoy, savor, and feel at his home. So Arjun, a very nice win, but what he's really struggling with is his opening with the black pieces. What I would suggest, Arjun, try and be a little less ambitious. Try and equalize first. Try and be a bit solid, because when you have really big ambitions and things don't work out, I think sometimes you need to be a bit realistic, lower down your ambitions, try and get things a bit stable, and then your goals always have to be a bit flexible.
Oh, I agree with you. That's my goal every time I play online chess. I first want to stabilize the thing, and then just to have a very not risk-free position. So that's a good idea. What you're just suggesting, and also what we saw in the end game, how he outplayed his opponent. That's a very good chances for him that even in the slightly better end game, he will just have more advantage.
Yes, absolutely. But one thing you really need to do in matches is to win games. But also another thing is you should be hard to defeat. And right now it all feels a bit comfortable for Dennis with the white pieces now. So I think Arjun has to fix that up. He can't get into back positions every game with the black pieces. But that's also what the scoreboard pressure does to you, because when you're down, you feel like you need to win every game. You just want to equalize. But not necessarily, you have time. It's a long match. It's a 3-hour match. So you don't need to equalize instantly. It's also okay to hold the things and try and strike when you have a higher percentage of success. And till that point, keep holding. Look at the sad fate of that b7 knight, Katie. No squares at all.
Yeah.
Nowhere to go.
If knight goes on d8, then rook gets on b8, and it will be like all these pieces on the back rank, and yeah, probably will drop. There is knight c5 possibility, but white will take this knight. White will have d5 connected past pawn, and c5 will be weakness here. So there's also rook b8 here at some point. White can try rook b8, then take the pawn on e5, but white is going for c5 pawn first, queen c4, knight to d7 to guard this.
The idea of f5?
Yeah, rook b7, h4, bishop h3 can be possibility for white as well.
Absolutely, yeah. H4, bishop h3 would be pretty unpleasant for black, and especially with this bishop on f6, it's even more powerful because black cannot retaliate with f5. With bishop f6, I think Arjun wants to play queen c8, get the rook away from b7. If he did that earlier, then there was an d7 check. So he's trying to just get this queen c8, d6, advancing the pawn. Now you have the c7 square for the rook, so the rook can stay on the 7th rank for a long time. The other pawn, h4, bishop h3. It's all there in the air. I think Denis is going to go 4-2 up.
Yeah, look at this knight on d7. It can't move anywhere. There's no square for this knight. And yeah, if you move your bishop away, then knight e7 might be a check. I think black has huge issues on d7 knight. If white tries to attack this knight by the queen or by the bishop f3, bishop g4 is another idea, or just push h4, bishop h3, then the knight is really struggling and can be lost.
Yeah, it looks set to be lost. It looks set to be lost. And
h4. Yes.
With the king on g7, it comes under the rook on b7, yeah? So when you move the bishop and try for something like f5 in the future, then there will be a pin on the 7th rank as well. So h4 at the right moment with the idea of bishop h3. And there's just no moves for Arjun. If I was black, I wouldn't hesitate to resign.
Hard to find here moves. Bishop f3 comes on the way. You can't move your bishop away to free the knight's square for knight. Like bishop d8 is a possibility here, but bishop h3 attack the knight. Knight moves away on f6 and rook to b8. I think loses a piece. So queen goes on a8 and d7 knight is not hang, but
the c6 knight.
Yeah, he's guarding c6 knight and d7 knight is still hanging.
But now the d7 knight is lost. Arjun going for his last hope, the c pawn, but shouldn't really be working. Rook into d7, c3, and now I think something like queen c4 should win the game. Keeping an eye on the f7 pawn and the c3 pawn. Rook into d7, c3, queen c4, and I guess that's GG. Any rook c8, there is rook c7, and that's it.
I see. Yeah, this pawn is the only hope, but white can easily handle it. It is gone queen to c4. You can't even move now the rook away because f7 pawn will be under attack.
Yeah, exactly. You cannot move the rook away. He will try with queen a1 and queen b2, but white will just go rook c7 and move away the knight, or even knight b4. Like queen b2, knight b4, and the rook is never moving, the bishop is never moving. So either resignation after queen b2, knight b4, or resignation now.
Yeah, I like how white is playing with this bishop. Like bishop g2 was just not doing too much of the work, and now he's bringing this bishop to f1. Maybe he can bring this bishop to d3 to control c pawn. So he's trying to play with all the pieces.
Yes, but also he's in a situation where he can literally do anything. Yeah, I mean, he can afford to do whatever he wants. He has all the advantages in the position.
True.
Maybe the bishop wants to come to b6, so Arjun's still fighting here, but just rook b7 stops that, no?
Rook b7. Oh yeah, rook b7. I was thinking about knight d3 to stop this threat for a moment. With
also possible, you go knight d3, knight c5. But now how do you? Yeah, just knight into e5.
Just take on e5. And then rook f7 hangs with a check.
So Denis going into a 2-point lead once again, and he's doing it in a very calm and comfortable way. Yeah? He's not showing any sign of nervousness. He's taking his time. He's calculating, and now it's checkmate in 6 moves actually. Chat, do you see how the checkmate comes here?
As a representative of a chat, I know what's the checkmate. The final move is with a queen. Yes, he's going for this. Take the pawn on h7, then take all these pawns on the way.
Yeah. Oh, Arjun's still playing. Okay, but he has the pawn on c2, so I do understand why he's still playing. And now Denis again has to find the checkmate here. It's puzzle rush time, guys.
Wow.
Yeah. Queen h7, king g4. Can you
Careful
find the
time.
checkmate chat?
Who found it? Yeah, bishop e2.
Yep. Bishop e2. Beautiful move. The key move here. And he's done it. And Arjun resigns. Dennis goes up 4-2 here. And so far, Dennis has been very convincing with his white games. He's got an advantage. He's won very cleanly. And with black, Arjun hasn't shown a similar kind of pressure that Dennis has shown with the white pieces. Meanwhile, there's a question from Shiv in the chat. He's like, shouldn't Arjun resign early from a tactical perspective, as he might be able to play more games, and this one seems unsavable. What's your perspective, Katie?
I think what he's doing, he's trying his best chances. He knows how the blitz, online blitz is played. Maybe over the board you resign earlier, and in blitz anything can happen. Like, I don't know, someone can disconnect or some mouse slip can happen. So it makes sense to play up to the end. But why I think he's playing this portion faster, and I think he's hoping to get some points and take the match on his terms in the lower time control, like 3+1 or in the bullet portion. Because if you played so much of chess tournaments, maybe he cannot think too much. Myself, that's how I very often feel when I have like long working day. I prefer to play bullet games because it's fast, anything can happen, it's more fun. And kind of have a feeling watching at Arjun's play how he's doing and handling these situations with the resignation. I think he wants to go to the shorter portion of the match, 3+1 or even bullet portion.
Yeah, and also I think Arjun is not really thinking too much about the match perspective at the moment. He just wants to play chess normally. I'm not even sure if he has thought much about his opponent, because he's playing like he would play in an open. He's just trying to win as much as he can. He's trying to create chances with both colors. He sees an opponent who's like 150 points rated below him. Actually, even more, about 180 points rated below him, close to 200. So he's just trying to win from either colors. And I don't think, I'm not even sure if he had a match strategy in place, or he thought too much about the match perspective. And I guess during the break, he will realize that he needs to take this one more seriously. The way it's going, it's not going to work out for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, do we have new moves on the board? No, guys, the board is not frozen. It's just like black was not making a move. It's not always out. They were not making moves, so we have to.
We are not into the bullet segment yet.
Not yet. Actually, I just realized now. I just joined this screen to see fully what our viewers can see, and it was 14 minutes left, and I wanted to add some time on it, and I calculated really badly. But now what I can see is that we do have more 18 minutes for this portion. So in the chat, Anshika thinks just the same way as I think, that to my eyes, Arjun wants less 5+1 segment.
Interesting. That's an interesting point of view. If we have him for the post-game interview, maybe we can ask him that.
Yeah, that's always good to know what's.
Oh yeah, the board is indeed frozen, guys. The board is indeed frozen.
Okay, now it's frozen.
The clock is not moving, and the position, not a lot exciting has happened, by the way. So until we get the board back on track, maybe we can talk about general life things, how the Crocs are doing.
Crocs are doing fantastic.
And we have the board back, just as I mentioned in the Crocs.
We're saved. Okay, so here we have the opposite color bishop and the rooks and the queens on the board. So we cannot necessarily say this is equal or drawish. It might have a character of draw, but I do like this idea of pushing the pawns on the queen side with b4 now. If you take this pawn, I will take with the c pawn, and then I'll have these pass pawns. Also, bishop can capture b4 and then push a5, a6, all the way up to a7 even. So it's going to be a very challenging pawn for black.
Yes, the A pawn is very challenging for black. On the other hand, he does have the D pawn as counterplay, and it feels like the A pawn has an easier route towards the A7 square, though. Like you just go A5, A6, A7. So Dennis is stopping that by putting his bishop on C4, taking control of that diagonal, and also, yeah, bishop B3, A5, provoking that pawn to the dark square, and then controlling this diagonal. So he has that under control. He has these pawns on e5 and d4, which is equal to the b4 and a5 pawn. So now Arjun tries to create more areas on the king side where he can create something. f4, queen g6 now, potentially rook e1. And later he will try to take f into e5, f into e5, and exert pressure either on the f file, where black cannot play rook f8 because the white bishop is on c5, or he will try to attack the e5 pawn.
Mm-hmm. Well, like this f8 square can be somewhere used for white's pieces.
He just goes rook c1, queen f3. He is exerting pressure. That is for sure. The game is still not that simple. It's not easy for black. It's not something to be taken for granted that it's going to end in a draw.
Yeah. Just the thing for white is that this bishop from b5 controls f1 square, so you would like to have this c1 rook to f file rather than d2 rook to f2, because you can also start to push the pawn on d3.
What's going on? So f4, e8, f4, queen 8, f4. There is a bit of break, but this only weakens the e4 pawn. Yeah, it doesn't look like things have gone Arjun's way. Now the pawn to d3.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think white is just slipping up here?
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of this idea for whites to let my opponents take the pawn on f4 and then to let d3 happen. So I think white could take the pawn on e5 himself rather than to have this isolated pawn on e4. I don't know. Now e5 can be somewhere real threat, like queen e8 and f5.
Yes, and this d3 pawn is invincible. And look at how brilliant this b5 bishop is, Keti. It's also controlling the a pawn. It's also supporting the d3 pawn. It's like a streamer who is doing amazing commentary and also doing an awesome job with OBS. We don't see that often, do we?
I agree. 100%, 1000%. But no one admits that.
It's rare.
Yes.
But here we have the bishop, and Arjun is clearly struggling here.
He's trying to get his position to the end game. He wanted to trade the queen, so that means that he's okay to make a draw, and he feels like it's time to make a draw. So I'm still thinking that black has some f5 at some point.
Yeah, but f5 does e5.
E5, yeah, that's why he's bringing back this rook. Now he wants f5, so the pawn will be just...
Yeah, but I come back queen g4, I repeat. But now you know that I'm okay with the draw, yeah?
Yeah, black doesn't want to make a draw. Black has less time, though, on the clock, like half a minute less.
Yes, but I think that will become equal pretty soon because white's position is a lot harder to play. F5 now? Can I do F5?
Yeah, I think, yeah.
But he wants to wait.
Then I take by the rook.
Now what's going on? Bishop d6, I just go rook e6 and f5 next move. Oh yeah, I could go f5 directly. The e3 rook is hanging. Are we going to see a 3-pawn lead now, Keti?
Oh. Wow. I'm so confused. F5 is working. Yeah, maybe Shri.
The e4 pawn is lost by force. Black is just going to take rook into e4, rook into e4, rook into e4. And he's got access to the e file now. Queen on e6 next. The queen goes to f6, in fact. Queen h4 check, queen d4 check, all these moves happening. There's the idea of rook e2 check incoming. Queens, don't play queen c3. That will get hit by queen f5 check.
Yeah. Goes queen to h4, bishop g3, and maybe queen
g5.
Queen. Oh, yeah, you should not drop the f5 pawn.
Yes. Don't lose sight of your pieces while you go for the attack.
Yeah, I was too obsessed with the attack, to be honest. You know what? Black is okay to drop f5 pawn now, because then d2 will be the strong. Right?
Yeah. And now f4. c5, c4 also works. It's such a dominating position for black.
I think everything works here.
No, this doesn't look good for Arjun because Dennis is not just taking a lead, but he's doing it with clearly convincing play. It's not like he's getting lucky or Arjun is blundering. Just bishop to... No, don't move that bishop.
Queen e6 to get control this g6 square.
Yeah.
So Arjun is
I would go f4 and take that h5 pawn,
Yeah.
This allows bishop c3. Did he miss bishop c3?
Oh my god, if the rook moves,
F4, queen g6 check. Queen g6 check.
Oh my god, what's happening?
This is turning around, Keti. Now do you take the pawn on f4? Do you take the bishop rook on e5? What do you do? It's still a completely better position for black, but it's not so easy anymore. Rook to b2, going for the mate, a6 and rook b8, trying to create threats. I think Arjun has turned this around. King to g1, and now king f8 maybe. Bishop b4 check, king e8, bishop c3. Oh no, he just tries to activate. But now d2. What is he doing against d2? Rook g5, he can still. I don't think Arjun. Now he has to go rook b6. But d2, he just gave it up.
Oh no, c2 is coming. he could play bishop b4 to stop these pawns and then try to control these two pawns by rook and bishop. He was so close to make a draw.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. He's just clearly not in his element today.
Yeah, it's Arjun's clone who is playing. he cloned someone, so can have a second person. Okay, Stonewall. He's trying all the possible openings, we don't have much of the same openings so far from both sides.
Yeah, he's not happy with anything. He's not getting good positions with any of his openings so far. And he's trying to shuffle around, trying to find that one comfortable opening. But so far, it's really hard for him. He's not being able to find that opening. Yeah. And a 3-point lead was completely unimaginable for this match. I think this might be the last match of this segment, the 5+1 segment. Katie, what do you think?
I think it's going to be the last one because it's less than 8. It's more than 8 minutes now for this match, and they still have 4 minutes each. So I don't think they will start a new game after this one, and still this going to be a really long game. So yeah, this can be the last one. And you know what? If there is only 3 points difference, I think Arjun would be just fine with it for the next portion, because I kind of wait from him to show what he's really, and the Arjun we know how he plays, so I am still waiting for that to come in the other portion. And also we have seen some of the matches turning aside when we have lower time on the clock. So let's see how this is gonna go. But if this ends badly for Arjun this game, and it's we go to the next segment with 4 points difference, that's gonna be really challenging for him to win 4 games and then take a lead as well.
Yes, and once again, Dennis has a nice, beautiful position out of the opening. E5 pawn, the E6 pawn of black is a weakness. The bishop on C8 stuck, so his king side is not developing. And Dennis is just playing beautiful, strong chess, he's not making things any easy for Arjun here. And I sense that this is going to go quite down the wire. It's not going to be easy for Dennis either. He has a lead, but Arjun is going to fight back. He's not going to let it go that easily. So chat, do tune in and hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Let's get Arjun all the support we can give so that more people tune in and Arjun gets all the positive energy.
Oh yeah, I believe in that. Like when like all of us now, all these people who are watching the stream, they can send all these positive vibes to him all the way to Spain, and he will get it and he will feel it definitely. I believe in these kind of things. And Sri, when you play chess, you are looking for small things, small details, something like luck to have, and
The lady luck.
Yeah, you're just looking something. So you guys, you know what to do. Try to support Arjun, and yeah, he will get it. He will definitely. And this is not the end. This is not the end. It's just the first segment of this tournament, and we have 2 more segments for a reason. So the things can change in the next 2 ones.
Yes, as I said yesterday in our rapid chess championship stream, if it hasn't happened in the past and if it isn't in the present, then it's probably going to happen in the future. So if there's something and if it hasn't yet happened or it's not that, then so maybe Arjun's striking back is going to happen in the future.
We have to publish a book of your wisdom, Sri.
Anshik has already done that.
I'm a bit behind.
It's pinned in my Discord.
I'm a bit behind. I need some updates. Oh, and this knight from h6. This knight needs some fresh air, some spot of a light. Needs to get back into the game.
It's happening, Keti. Arjun is listening to you, so he's bringing that knight to f5. Then he'll get the rook to d8, and then this bishop on d7 will someday go to b7. And
how about g3, Sri? Queen h4,
g3?
knight. Queen h4, knight g3. If you take
it's really nice, but you have to defend the d7 bishop first, yeah.
Why? If you take my bishop, I will take your queen.
Like, for example, you play queen h4, I respond with rook f3 and try and create a counter threat.
Then I can move my bishop.
Yes, but then white gets the rook to h3 and all this happens with a tempo, yes. So I want to get this bishop to c6 or on the diagonal first and then take my queen.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Rook c8.
And bishop still there. If black managed to try a trade light square bishop, then f5 knight is not any bad and any worse than b2 bishop. I like this knight here on f5.
Yeah, I like the knight on f5 too. And this is what Arjun had to do. Yeah, he had to slam the brakes. He had to try to equalize, I felt that he was just trying to win so hard in the first few games. And that was leading to bad quality of games. And this is just so much better from him. He was winning so much that he kind of expected himself to win every game that he plays. But wanting to win badly doesn't lead to wins. In fact, it's counterproductive a lot of times because you get distracted by the result, and getting distracted by rating the result, these things are extremely harmful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. That's totally
Keti, you can chat later. Come on.
And you can read chat later too. Oh wow, 93. I like this knight. I really like this knight. I would not be surprised if the knight will go on d5 and then black will push the pawn c4, c3 to create a pass pawn here.
Would you take the f4 pawn now? Would you play queen g6? Or
queen g6.
It feels like black has a lot of attractive options.
Yeah, true. I like queen g6 very much. I also like to take the bishop on f3 and do this knight d5 and a c4 idea. Lots of things. This is a chance for Arjun. He should take this chance.
Yes, he should totally take this chance, and I guess he senses it at some level. So he is going for it. He goes with queen g6. And again, it's a positive sign. I think Arjun can turn this match around really quickly if he relaxes a bit and, reduces his ambition, tries not so hard to win. People have been through these things, yeah. Whether you're 2600 or 2400 or 1800, the psychology works in a similar way. And when people go through emotions at a certain age, the people older than them have been through it. It just happens in cycles, I think.
I want to agree, but also not agree with you. I don't know. Yeah, okay, I will agree with you.
You can feel free to disagree. I think that would be more interesting,
Okay, it's 30 seconds, so I don't think we're gonna see any more games.
Another game.
No.
Queen to b1. How do you defend after queen b1?
Queen a3. Queen a3, queen b2.
Oh. That looks so ugly, but if it works, it works.
If it works, it works.
I take on f3 and I want to get this queen on e4, but then maybe you have some rook e2, yeah? So what do I do? How do I increase my pressure? Maybe b4 here?
I'm thinking... Oh, okay. Take this one first. There's an issue of the back rank, right? So how about
I think he's just going to come back with the knight. Knight d5.
Yeah.
Rook 8, queen c7, and now knight d5.
No, why not to take c5 pawn?
But then I play rook c8 back, yeah? That's the point.
And if I take the knight on e3, then you take my bishop and it's going to be a checkmate.
Yep.
Nice.
f5, wow. Queen, just take the pawn. Queen c for this. And then put this pawn on f4, yeah? Mm-hmm. Now we are in the zone. Now we are in the point of 10 seconds each. f4, then white plays e6 now. Rook, nah, this is not a good move. Yeah, queen h5. The pawn goes to c4, potentially. c4 and... rook h3. He missed rook h3.
Oh my god.
He just missed rook h3. Knight e5 now. Queen d5. But this doesn't look good, getting the knight out from there. Now the queen was hanging. Queen f5. e7 was strong. He misses it. Pawn to f3. The 5-second zone. It's completely random here. Oh my god, he's blended it. He's thrown it away. And it's a 4-point lead for Denis.
Oh my god, what was that? Oh no, queen f5 was a blunder. These things happened in a second.
Yeah, f into g2 check was the move. He played f into g2 check at that moment, and all white had to do was take queen into g2, just take the pawn back, and it set up a perfect tick for white. The f8 rook fell, and it fell right into checkmate. This is just so sad for Arjun. He doesn't look happy at all. It's a perfect time to have a break, though. It's the perfect time for Arjun to have a break, and it's also the perfect time for us to have a break chat. So let's go into a short break and be right back. Meanwhile, do hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't.
If Height does not win this is such a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Oh, but he could even lose this. 98!
No! That's too much.
David, I don't know what to say.
I need a moment to recover from that.
This couldn't be right. Oh,
Whoa! Queen H1.
I'm out. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow.
What a great move.
And then Rook takes G3 back. And the queen's trapped! That is one of the most amazing queen
my
traps I've
God.
seen. Wait, B5! Oh my gosh! He's losing a piece! And look at him, he looks away, he can't believe it!
Oh my God.
Nihal trying to give checks, but actually now the pawn is moving forward. The pawn cannot be stopped. Bishop D6.
Oh, you win the
He
time!
loses on time.
What did we just witness? I think that White's position is about to collapse.
Yeah, but he sacrifices again. But
Oh
it's not a
my
sacrifice.
God.
It's a double attack.
If Height does not win this is such a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Oh, but he could even lose this. 98!
No! That's too much.
David, I don't know what to say.
I need a moment to recover from that.
This couldn't be right. Oh,
Whoa! Queen H1.
I'm out. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow.
What a great move.
And then Rook takes G3 back. And the queen's trapped! That is one of the most amazing queen
my
traps I've
God.
seen. Wait, B5! Oh my gosh! He's losing a piece! And look at him, he looks away, he can't believe it!
Oh my God.
Nihal trying to give checks, but actually now the pawn is moving forward. The pawn cannot be stopped. Bishop D6.
Oh, you win the
He
time!
loses on time.
What did we just witness? I think that White's position is about to collapse.
Yeah, but he sacrifices again. But
Oh
it's not a
my
sacrifice.
God.
It's a double attack.
If Height does not win this is such a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Oh, but he could even lose this. 98!
No! That's too much.
David, I don't know what to say.
I need a moment to recover from that.
This couldn't be right. Oh,
Whoa! Queen H1.
I'm out. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow.
What a great move.
And then Rook takes G3 back. And the queen's trapped! That is one of the most amazing queen
my
traps I've
God.
seen. Wait, B5! Oh my gosh! He's losing a piece! And look at him, he looks away, he can't believe it!
Oh my God.
Nihal trying to give checks, but actually now the pawn is moving forward. The pawn cannot be stopped. Bishop D6.
Oh, you win the
He
time!
loses on time.
What did we just witness? I think that White's position is about to collapse.
Yeah, but he sacrifices again. But
Oh
it's not a
my
sacrifice.
God.
It's a double attack.
If Height does not win this is such a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Oh, but he could even lose this. 98!
No!
That's too much! David, I don't know what to say.
I need a moment to recover from that.
This couldn't be right. Oh,
Whoa! Queen H1.
I'm out. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow.
What a great move.
And then Rook takes G3 back. And the queen's trapped! That is one of the most amazing queen
my
traps I've
God.
seen. Wait, B5! Oh my gosh! He's losing a piece! And look at him, he looks away, he can't believe it!
Oh my God.
Nihal trying to give checks, but actually now the pawn is moving forward. The pawn cannot be stopped. Bishop D6.
Oh, you win the
He
time!
loses on time.
What did we just witness? I think that White's position is about to collapse.
Yeah, but he sacrifices again. But
Oh
it's not a
my
sacrifice.
God.
It's a double attack.
If White does not win this is such a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Oh, but he could even lose this. 98!
No!
That's too much! David, I don't know what to say.
I need a moment to recover from that.
This couldn't be right. Oh,
Whoa, Queen H1.
I'm out. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow.
What a great move.
And then Rook takes G3 back. And the queen's trapped! That is one of the most amazing queen
my
traps I've
God.
seen. Wait, B5! Oh my gosh! He's losing a piece! And look at him, he looks away, he can't believe it!
Oh my God!
Nihal trying to give checks, but actually now the pawn is moving forward. The pawn cannot be stopped. Bishop D6.
Oh, you win the time!
He loses on time.
What did we just witness? I think that White's position is about to collapse.
Yeah, but he sacrifices again. But
Oh
it's not a
my
sacrifice.
God.
It's a double attack.
If White does not win this is such a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Oh, but he could even lose this. 98!
No!
That's too much! David, I don't know what to say.
I need a moment to recover from that.
This couldn't be right. Oh,
Whoa, Queen H1.
I'm out. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow.
What a great move.
And then Rook takes G3 back. And the queen's trapped! That is one of the most amazing queen
my
traps I've
God.
seen. Wait, B5! Oh my gosh! He's losing a piece! And look at him, he looks away, he can't believe it!
Oh my God!
Nihal trying to give checks, but actually now the pawn is moving forward. The pawn cannot be stopped. Bishop D6.
Oh, you win the time!
He loses on time.
What did we just witness? I think that White's position is about to collapse.
Yeah, but he sacrifices again. But
Oh
it's not a
my
sacrifice.
God.
It's a double attack.
If White does not win this is such a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Oh, but he could even lose this. 98!
No!
That's too much! David, I don't know what to say.
I need a moment to recover from that.
This
Welcome back to the Junior Speeches Championship match between Arjun Erigaisi and Denis Lazavik. We are back with the 3+1 segment, which will last for 60 minutes. In the 5+1 segment, it's been Denis all the way, leading with a tennis-like scoreline of 6-2. So he's taken the first set, but that's just the first segment. And we have two more segments to go. The 3 minutes plus 1 segment lasting 60 minutes and the 30-minute bullet segment of 1+1. So Arjun still has chances to strike back and chat. What are your thoughts? Is Arjun going to hit back here, or do you think it's going to be Denis all the way? Let us know in the chat. And what are your thoughts, Keti?
My thoughts is that Arjun can strike back now and bounce back and get some points here in this portion, and bullet will be very interesting. To me, it will be more interesting if they have like close score. For instance, like it's like 5-6 or something very close, and it's we don't know what's going to happen in the bullet segment. So I think Arjun can bounce and back. And earlier we saw on the video that someone was walking on the background of Arjun's video, and also our chat mentioned about this. So you guys, of course, for the security measures, these players have two videos, so we can see Arjun's face and also Denis' face, and then we see with the second camera what's going on around them. So seems to me that he's in a public place, he's in open area, and this can be another reason why he's now playing the way we are pretty much not expected him to play. So he might not be fully concentrated, as just imagine you are in open area in some hall and people can just walk around and talk around. So that's obviously
Honestly, I would be a bit
conditions.
disturbed by everything, the noise, the people, the distractions, and
Yeah.
even the fact that they're watching me play so badly.
Yeah. True, but it just by watching you can be also distracted. So I think he used a different area than Nihal was using. Nihal had more like private area in the video we saw, but yeah.
Yeah,
That's,
maybe they don't have access to it anymore because that was before the tournament started, and now the tournament has ended. So maybe that's the reason. But Arjun has come back swinging into the Keti during the break. I don't know what he did during the break, if he ate something or if he got some energy from somewhere. But he's coming back. He's opened the hedge file for himself, and now he's just one more away from smashing it open with G5.
Yeah, but maybe before that, G5, he wants to take care of the queen side and push this pawn D3 to avoid any kind of complications here. But yeah, G5, Rook to H1 is the moves that White is here hoping to play.
Yeah, it's one of the rare instances where B3 is the best move in the position, but such instances do exist, and he has closed down the queen side completely, and it's not going to be easy for Dennis to find a way to get things open on the queen side. On the other hand, White has a free hand on the other side.
Okay.
Oh, rook into d5 happens, c into d4, and is there a way to win a piece here? Are we winning a piece somehow?
Yeah, we can also take the pawn on d4 and then pin the knight on d file.
Yeah, he just takes the pawn on d4. Now you have 3 pieces on the d file, and it's already under a pin. Queen c8, but now maybe just rook c1.
Rook c1, queen, kick this queen back. If you get this queen on b7, then rook b5 will be with a threat. He goes for knight h5. He wants to maybe take knight, rook d7, queen d7, knight f6 just to expose the king side. That's one option here. Another option can be just to play knight to b5, maybe knight f5 possible to attack the knight, threat knight d6 as well.
Yeah, these arrows are beautiful. It feels like I'm playing Tetris.
Yeah, I've never played them recently.
Never? Really? You never played Tetris?
Recently. When I was a kid, I used to play. Oh.
The queens are off, so black has no counterplay anymore. The d7 knight is attacked. Knight c7 is a threat. So I think Arjun is going to take this one, and it's going to be 6-3. Just b4 wins here, or maybe not.
Or
you have to be careful, yeah. That's my dinner. Just please take care of the chat while I pick it up.
No worries, no worries. Your dinner, and here we have this end game. 2 rooks on the 7th rank for White. Black has to play rook to f8, very passive, and White is going for a3 pawn. I think f3 makes here sense, or just to ignore that, just pick up a3 pawn, just like Shri is picking up his dinner right now, and then to roll the pawns on the queen side. This should be winning endgame for Arjun, and knowing his technique should not be hard to improve this position slowly and then in the end to win. But when 2 rooks are on the board, you guys, those are tricky rooks, and White has to be just a little bit careful. F3 now opens up the G file, so rook G2 check makes sense. E4 is the next move, and I wonder if he's going to start to roll the pawns on the queen side, like A4, B4. He doubled the rooks on D file, so anytime there will be some challenge on the queen side for the White's king, rooks are ready to control the things in there. So okay, check. A3 probably here, just not to give up B4 pawn. And another check, rook to d3. This is extra 2 pawns. Extra 2 pawns. Welcome back.
Thank you. And we are back. I'm still surprised that this game is going on. I thought Arjun would have closed it out.
It's slowly improving. He's slowly improving. He went to decent game. Should not give up more pawns now for sure. Sri, maybe it's time to also activate the rook.
He wants to win with the B pawn, yeah?
Yeah, b6 now. Rook c3. Okay, king b3 also a possibility. Just rook c3.
And now just rook b3 or...
Yeah, rook b3. I'm surprised that he didn't play. But okay, he wants to... You know what he wants to do? He wants to sacrifice the rook for f pawn and just to push a and b pawn to the queen.
Yep. Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense.
This is a good comeback.
Indeed. Arjun has won it, and d4, knight f6, c4, b6 this time. He's ever so adventurous with the openings, Keti, but with the time reducing, all these dubious openings are going to pay off better. And I have noticed that a lot of these, players who are classically strong, they are really good with the 5+1 portion. But with the times reducing, it can get different.
Mm-hmm. And also the unknown positions, something that they don't play the opening, they can easily switch to the different pawn structures, different piece structures as well. So I don't know. I just want to remind everybody also, Sri, that me and Anshika predicted that this person would be the person that Arjun is hurry up to go in. And I just see for a moment that someone was also walking in the room. So yeah, he's in a public space, and clearly it's bad for his concentration.
But he's doing so well so far in this game, Keti. An excellent start. He started with the pawn on b6, but he's got a very nice King's Indian. The knight on e5, he'll look to break with b5 now. The other break possible is the e6. He has all these lovely breaks. And White's setup is not ideal for the King's Indian, It feels like it's all over the place. So it feels like he's tricked his opponent beautifully. He did this with his third move c5, an extremely unusual move here in this position. And he has found an opening to trouble Denis. I think for the first time in this match, Denis has a bad position with the white pieces. Knight e2, such a terrible blunder there. He just lost the c4 pawn for no compensation at all. Knight into c4, the queen is attacked. And if he goes queen d3, White loses another pawn with knight into b2. Do you think it's all unraveling now, Keti? Do you think Arjun's hitting back here?
Absolutely. Yeah. He's doing that. He's in a good shape. He took another pawn. He is now back to take the bishop. Maybe bishop h6 now to get the knight e3, and this bishop will be also activated there. Now he plays knight to e5. I was just a little bit distracted by the video I saw, and I was thinking if Sri is now traveling with Arjun, this is not gonna happen in the same room as Arjun is playing. This is so bad for him. He cannot tell them, he can't tell them to be quiet or not to go there, but he needs a little bit more privacy, I think, to play his best games.
Yeah, if I was around, then yes, I could play the role of a security, shoo people away whenever anyone is coming. Be like, Arjun's here.
That's how I imagine, actually. Yeah, I think if you're there, or I kind of have a feeling Arjun now is like alone there.
I mean, if I was there, I think we'd need to have two rooms, because obviously I cannot commentate around here, and I'm not going to miss commentating on his games to provide security.
That's also true. It's also true. But yeah, actually another player that we know was playing from the public space is Daniel Dubov. He played one of the events was it Rapid Chess Championship or maybe Title Tuesday from the airport. So can you imagine how many thousand people were around and he was playing the competition? So
Wow.
crazy people. They can play from
They can play chess from
anywhere.
anywhere. Yeah, that's like the USP of chess. You can literally play it from anywhere, anytime. Arjun is up by 3 pawns in this game. He has this A passer, the pawn to A3, the queen to A5 incoming, and it just looks so resignable for white. So far in this match, it's been the opposite, but for the first time, I think Arjun's shown some dominance in this match. And it's come at a very early time in 3+1 segment. Knight h3, knight into f2, inflicting more punishment, more damage. But do you think he would take bishop into f2 and open up the g file and risk some threats?
He took some time, so it was very obvious that he was looking for some other move, and he played bishop to b5. g5 pawn is now anyway hanging, but he's ready. If you take my pawn, I will take your queen. So it's you can do the math. It's not worth it. Don't take it. So now rook h6, rook on h file. Okay.
Yeah, and he's going to keep this. He's going to keep this dark square bishop. Yeah, no matter what.
Yeah, for sure.
Dennis is not losing with it.
Oh no. He just traded it.
Bad
He just traded it. Very bad decision, Arjun. Very bad decision to go against us. So how about queen d7 at some point and then g4 to push this pawn?
Yeah, I could almost hear you say it even before you said it, Katie. If there's a way to get to the king, you will find it. And here we are. Rook h1 with the idea of rook h1. Queen d7, g5. There's still some work to do here, yeah? It's not...
Oh, a3 now. So he's pushing the pawns on the other side too.
Rook f7, just defend it. Oh, he just goes a2, completely ignores it. Rook in h7?
Rook g5, probably.
Yeah, rook in h7.
Rook g5 and you lose the rook on h7, yeah.
Yep. Queen a4 with the idea of queen a3 check or queen b3 check. And a1 queen as well. I saw it the last.
Okay.
No, it's probably showing... Sorry, Kate.
So, no. Go ahead.
It's probably showing that I'm hungry and hungry for more wins from Arjun, more likes for the stream, and more subscribes to this channel. So we can come in and support Arjun a lot more, send more and more of the positive energy. He's lessening, narrowing the gap with 2 points. He was down by 4 points at the beginning. Now it's only 2 points. So it is working, chat. Let's keep piling on the positive energy. Do hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't.
Well said, Sri. So this is the game that he will not miss his chances. Now I think he will just bring the king to g6 to just make sure that nothing gonna happen on this side. And extra 3 pawns for now. Black will now choose one of those pawns and will start to...
This is not easy, Kate. It's not easy.
I don't like that he gave up c pawn now.
It wasn't easy at all. I was almost worried that that was going to end in a draw, because White had got into this really nice position in this endgame. And even this is not totally trivial, because you have this rook pawn, which is a pain in most of the endgames. But okay, with rook d6, I think we are pretty safe. This pawn just goes now. Just save this pawn. Rook e2, yeah. Now I think Arjun has it in the bag.
Strange checks that White gave with this rook allowed Black to activate the king and the rook.
Yes, but they are playing with 5 seconds each, and it just becomes completely random at that point.
Yeah, true.
And now just rook b1 check and e2.
Yeah.
What? Oh. Rook b3? Why did you play rook b3 there? Why not just e2?
Now look at this. If you take, I have check, and I will take the rook, and it's winning. Now rook b1. He understood it. Yeah, it's so winning.
Wow.
It's so winning.
That was a crazy segment, crazy game, but Arjun has won.
Yeah, so two
And-
games, right? 2 games or 3 games? 2.
It's a gap of 2 points, Katie. Now
Okay.
it was 6-2, and now it's 6-4. It's still a tennis-like scoreline, but it's getting better and better for Arjun. And one more win, and it won't even feel like he's down anymore.
Mhm. Yeah, that's true. Well, this is indeed a good start, and nicely done. And yeah, he seems he's very, very good at this like smaller portion of the of this tournament of this match. So he's giving up the bishop now, bishop pair, but he can control the center end. I'm always so confused with this pawn structures tree. I have 2 bishops, but those bishops don't have much of the space.
True. But it was a pretty weird way to play as white, Katie. You know, bishop g5, bishop at f6, the way Arjun played, and now black just castles long. You won't get that kind of initiative on the king side, and he starts attacking on the king side. So I think the opening has gone in not a great way for Arjun.
G4,
G4?
he wants to kick the knight back and take the e5 pawn. I'm not sure about this idea. It drops g4.
Yes, because it just closes down the king side completely. You know,
Yeah, like
this is
yeah,
pretty
this
solid
is
now.
fine. Yeah.
When you had the pawn on g5, you had options like g into h4, opening up the g5.
True. King cannot castle on the short side. And if king castles on the long side, then there can be some pawn push, like a4, a5, a6, c4. The bishop g2 can be a monster. Wow, I'm very surprised of Black's decision.
Me too, but yeah, so far this game has gone on in a very interesting way. Not in an unorthodox way, I should say. Bishop to g6, can you just go back knight f4, yeah?
Knight f4, yeah, can do this. But then rook g8, queen e5, bishop d6.
You don't, do you want to trade maybe queen c3?
Queen c3, okay, I didn't see that square.
Yeah. It's still nicer for black though, I think.
Bishops, yeah, these bishops are super strong. And there can be sometimes some threats like bishop h4 and knight on f. For instance, now like bishop h4, you can think of it like okay, white can also take d5 pawn before takes the bishop on h4, but then it opens up the g file. So
yeah, true.
So queen d2 was played to guard
Protecting
knight on
it.
f4.
Bishop to d6, strengthening the threat, and now knight h5 maybe.
Yeah, knight h5, maybe knight f6 at some point.
Rook to g6. Arjun is struggling, yeah?
Yeah, I think, yeah, like bishop g4 was now the threat, so that's why he was pretty much forced to play bishop f3 to avoid this move. Maybe rook g8?
Yeah, rook g8 looks nice. And
Queen
he goes for it.
e7. Queen e7, queen h4 ideas.
Do you already have bishop into g3 related stuff, Katie?
I don't think so. Because bishop g2 can be covered.
Maybe time to go b4, yeah?
Mm-hmm. And
Time to just go
b7.
b4, c5. But maybe black just takes bishop into c5 and just sits. King running away now. But
on this side.
Doesn't feel great. And the biggest problem for white is this knight on h5 is kind of stuck.
Bishop h3, I like this move because if we play bishop g2, then bishop g4 attacks the knight and takes this knight. So king e2 was pretty much first move here.
No, but now black is just strengthening his control of the board, and this knight on h5 is pretty much excluded from everything. It's So now he had to go b4 and c5, but I think he had to do it earlier. Now it's a desperate measure, trying to just create something. Threat of rook into c5. Now he defends it with b6. Now it would be nice if white can get some kind of threats on the light squares. But it's a dream for the moment.
Queen d1, queen b3, or queen a4. You can get this queen somewhere on d5.
Yes, there are ways to do this, but it takes a lot of time to achieve that. Yes.
Yeah, maybe black just wants to push now e4 to open up more files. King is in the center, so e4 sacrifice and rook e8, rook e6. Try to get something. King d1. Arjun is running away.
Well, he can run, but can he hide? What is e4?
Two different things, right? e4 anyway. e4, d takes e4, f takes e4, bishop e4, and rook g4 wins a piece. On h5.
Yes. And now the light square bishop is also out. Rook c4 maybe?
Rook
No,
c4
but
possible, but
black
you
just
don't
takes
track
the
much.
knight, yeah? Queen f7. I'm sorry, Katie, I did.
With this rook h4, rook c4, you don't threat anything on the queen side anymore. Oh. What's that?
Yes, you don't threaten anything on the queen side. And I just see no hopes at all for white here. Black has numerous options to try and win here. Numerous ways.
Yeah. Queen f3
He
is,
decides not to take the knight. He goes queen f3 check. He wants to keep control of things and goes in for the checkmate here, which is very clever.
Mhm.
Preventing all rook into c5 related stuff. And with that, I guess Denis goes towards a 3-point lead.
Hmm.
3 seconds remaining for Arjun.
Hope.
King d1, the only move not giving a check. Rook into f2, queen a6 check.
Oh, that's nice. 8 seconds. He has to make a move. Oh, whoa, what's going on?
Black feels completely safe with his queen and rook. He thinks he can hide his king somewhere. And white has only 2. Oh, he's lost on time. But that was kind of bound to happen.
Ooh. Okay,
And,
okay. He was losing. I think he was still losing, but both having seconds on the clock. It was still tricky.
Arjun repeating the opening, which gave him excellent success with the black pieces. But this time, Denis goes for a safer setup. And I don't think Arjun's going to get the similar kind of advantage that he got in the other game.
Right, d5.
How many hours have you streamed today, Katie?
I'm streaming from 1 p.m. So it's 5 hours
Wow.
and 15 minutes.
You're also like the juniors.
Yes, I'm a junior. I was hosting a chess kid. I was winning a lot of games against kids, and I was like, oh my god, it can be so festive winning against kids. But I enjoyed it. So,
What's your chess kid name? Is it Hungry Crocodile?
It's Happy Crocodile, but today Hungry Crocodile also suits perfectly well. So yeah, we had this challenge. If any of Chess Kid could beat me, and luckily I think there were not much Indian chess kids, because Indian chess kids are really tough opponents for me. Then I had these stickers. It's a tattoo of Chess Kid pawn, and there was a challenge that if I was losing a game, I will put it on my face, the tattoos, or my hands. So I was well prepared today, but I didn't lose any games, really.
Well done, Katie.
Thank you.
Arjun once again has a fine position out of the opening, yeah? For I think only maybe the second time in this match with the black pieces.
Fine, I guess. Maybe c4 here. Yes, just to not to have the isolated pawn.
Yes, also in these types of structures, you have to push your pawn. You have to take advantage of your past pawns. So he goes c4 and now h4 maybe. But I don't know, moving that pawn is not so useful. So he will try to maybe strengthen this. But the pawn is attacked. Yeah, I just missed that completely that the pawn is attacked.
It's
So
under
how do you
attack.
defend
Maybe
this pawn?
b5. B5.
Yeah, I think b5 makes the most sense.
Well, like you can give up the c pawn, but you can take d4 pawn if you want to trade. But b5 looks nice looking move to me. Another move you can play is c3. If you take rook c3, then a5, and you're losing a rook. So the queen is under attack. There's no square for this queen, but to push the pawn c3, you might lose it in other way. So he's not going for that. b5, a4.
Now a6.
Nice.
Arjun hanging in there. He's under control here.
Yeah.
So when you have when you're trailing by such a margin in a match like this, you first want to try and get it to a 1 point lead.
Yeah. You just need to start winning. You just need to start also making draws. But look at this match. We had no draws so far, right? There's no draws.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good observation. No draws so far.
Yeah. Because the match we were looking earlier of Nihal, I think there was several draws there. A lot of draws actually. But today, no, they don't want to make draws.
No, today has been. I think it has been down to how Arjun has played in this match so far. He's rook e5, that's c3. Oh no, just b4. Yeah, there's just b4 and then c3. And these two pawns are just rolling all the way. So it's going to be 7-5, I think, Keti. And yeah, Arjun has come out with a really fighting attitude in this match so far. I think we're going to have a short break at the end of this match, this game, the halfway portion of the 3+1 segment. And Arjun has looked to create chances from either colors, with black as well as white, which is also why he's lost a lot of games so far.
Yeah, well, Arjun lost one game, but he won more games in this portion. So I think so far he should be more satisfied than the previous portion. And yeah, the breaks are helping him. So he's obviously supporting himself. Like, come on, you can do it. You're strong. You can go for it. That's what I actually do during breaks. That you can do it. Don't eat.
Would you take this d4 pawn now?
Absolutely.
But then what if I play bishop f1?
How about c3 then? Knight e4. Okay.
Yeah, and now knight d2. And b3, b2 now.
Rook c8 actually loses rook. Oops.
Yeah.
Yeah. b3 maybe?
Yeah, I think you have to go b3. White will play bishop into b3 and try and hold this position with all pawns on the same side. Which is something Arjun was probably trying to avoid because, with the pawns all on the same side, it's not easy to create a passed pawn, even if you have an extra knight. And it's going to take some time to, convert this position. So he goes for b3, bishop into b3, rook into b3, rook b2, I guess, next. And Denis has to take it. He has to take it and try to resist that.
I'm surprised why he's spending here some time because he has to give up.
He's blended it. Knight f3 check, rook b1, knight e1. King g2, there's knight e1. King f1, rook b1 check. King e2, knight d4. King g2, knight e1. He's just blended it.
Oh no. He took
Denis is not happy, I guess. 2 games losing with white in a row. And then we have the break at the 3+1 segment.
Keti Wiltry agreed that b3 was the best move there. Actually, Sri made such a big statement last time at the Junior Chess Championship about b3 that you guys He said all. He said all. Sri, how about we take also a small break before they come back for this portion, and we just come back with more energy and yeah, more supports to Arjun for sure.
For sure. But I'm
You
not
don't want
sure
to take
about
break.
that.
You don't want to take break. Okay, fine.
I'm up for a break anytime.
I don't even have a food to like smell it and feel it. You have the food, so I wanted you to
I do.
have a food.
I do. It's sitting right in front of me.
Okay, then it's fine.
Oops.
Oh
Did
my
I show?
god. Oh my god. Please don't do that. Please don't do that to us. I have water. I'm gonna pour some water.
I have some water too. And Dennis is
Everything
back.
Shri says it's on Twitter.
Twitter does have a lot of fake news though. Just saying.
I know, Shri. I know. Oh, Dennis is back. You think he is like he can't wait to start the next games? He seems a bit tired. He seems a little bit tired. He wants to relax.
What has changed in the match? You know, Katie. Dennis was really convincing all through the match. He was getting particularly this good position with the white pieces, and the last two games that has changed. Dennis has lost both the games with the white pieces, and not just that, he's been getting bad pushing with the white pieces in both the games. So this has to be extremely worrying for Dennis, and he's not happy about it. He does have some time to recover, but he has to start with the black pieces. And now, if Arjun manages to strike back in this game, then the lead is really going to narrow.
Yeah, white time is not stopped, Tree. It's still moving. That's interesting. We're both
What?
drinking water. Yeah,
The timer is still moving?
Yeah.
I think the timer is
Okay,
going
so you guys
to.
drink some water too, because it's really good. It helps. It usually helps everyone, body, also brain to work faster and to be always refreshed, right, Tree?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
It does.
And crocodiles, when they don't have food for like weeks, and they can't hunt, they just drink water. So that's
Humans do that too.
I'm doing it.
Yeah, Rookie, it's a break not just for the players but also for the producer, I suppose. So the scores are not updated, the timer is moving. But what I'd suggest is, ignore the timer or
Yeah.
ignore the timer and listen to the commentary. Pay attention to the commentary. We will update you with all the relevant things, the right things. And there is Arjun back like a man on a mission. The game's set to start at any time. There are these scores in the center, but there are also the scores next to the players, and that is the score that you should be paying attention to.
Yes, which says 7-2 Denis and 5-2 Arjun. Arjun came back. He's wearing some funny T-shirt. I just noticed it, and I thought that he changed his T-shirt, but I'm not sure he did that. But it's just we just saw it for a second at a different light. That it's really Arjun. It's not someone else, and he has some funny looking T-shirts.
Well, unless he's wearing an Arjun mask.
Arjun mask. Okay.
No, but I can see it's Arjun. The untidy hair and the bad camera and.
Yeah, one side is just okay. Do you think they got tired at this point?
Well, the commentators certainly are. I don't know about the players. I don't know about the chat.
We can talk about our results. All right, they will start the game soon. Very likely they are waiting for the arbiter to start. Not they are actually. There is a in Zoom call. There is a person who controls everything, like what's happening around. So basically, it's technician and also arbiter. They need. They need to have a
The
person.
proctor.
What?
Are you talking about the proctor?
And I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know actually. I know there is a person who is controlling everything around, looking all the cameras if something happens, and also Nestri, they have to share their screens. You know that they have to share their tabs, what they have open, so they can only have Chesscom open, nothing else. So this is another tool to against for game.
I see. And there was a 6-minute break, and we are going to be back anytime here. So, chat, stay tuned, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, as we are awaiting resumption any moment now. So, let's get more people and more positive energy, more cheer for Arjun.
Indeed, yes, and he can make it. He can make it absolutely. So it's just 2 points. I think that's not a big difference when we have still bullet portion to happen. So in bullet portion, things can go upside down.
Yes, it's anyone's game at this point. Arjun down by 2 points, but he's rated 200 points higher than his opponent, and he's also has the momentum. He's won the last 3 of his 4 games, and with 2 wins with the black pieces. So he's changing things. And there we have it, the resumption d4 played by Arjun, the Queen's Gambit, which has turned into a Slav defense. Knight c3, knight f6, e3, bishop f5 on the board. And I guess Arjun goes knight f3 here. Do you play this setup with... Oh, he takes cd5. cd5 and queen b3. This is pretty common in the Slav defense, exerting pressure on the d5 and the b7 points. And the black bishop had to go back all the way, but it feels like Arjun already has significant pressure. Black had to go bishop f5, bishop c8, and now he's played e6.
Yeah, that's very interesting how fast they play. They surely know this opening, both of them, and now white is striking in the center with e4. He wants to open up the dark square bishop, so then bishop can develop on e3 or g5. Now d4 pawn is hanging, so what black and white can do, maybe bishop e3 or rook d1 to guard d4 pawn in this way. So if you take it, maybe some variations you will lose the queen on d4. So I think that's what white can do, or just to play bishop e3 move here.
Yeah. Bishop e3 is what I expect, and it has happened. Knight d5. I'm sorry, I think I interrupted you. Yeah, I asked you if you play this opening, and
yeah, and you
I just kept going. I'm really sorry about that.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Well, yeah, it's a d4, so
the game was moving so fast, and it's Arjun's fault.
It's Arjun's fault, but Arjun has really funny look in her style right now. Looks like he's moving a lot. Like different players have like different I don't know how to say it. Like yeah, like I do like when I'm I want to fully concentrate. I put my hand on my head, so I'll be just focused on the board, nothing around. Some players even like to put their hands on the ear so they will not be distracted by the noise. So Arjun likes to have some funny hairstyle indeed.
I don't think that's intentional.
Yeah, he doesn't know. He lost his feeling that some people now, a lot of people are observing his actions. Just floating on the board.
How do you defend the d4 pawn here, Keti? With rook e1? But if this is the only, I think again Dennis has a nice position. Yeah, it feels like Arjun misplayed the opening. He had a really nice position, but he misplayed the opening, and uh, now he's very comfortable. Black is very comfortable. Dennis.
Yeah, I think, but still, this bishop on c8 is not developed, so maybe that's his hope. Like, if you take d4 pawn first, then knight d4, and you can have some back rank issues. If you trade everything and the knight on c5, the rook e8 can come with a checkmate. So I think that's what Arjun is relied on.
Yeah, it's a really tricky idea, which cost his opponent 30 minutes already. And he goes bishop f8. Do we, how do we continue here? Knight g5 is what I was thinking, attacking the headset pawn. g6, f5 is not a great idea because, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. If h6 then 3, knight rook h7, bishop h7, and knight f7 might happen. So that's not worth it to play. So g6 was played here. Maybe knight e4, knight fc, something like this.
Right at your home, yeah.
Yeah, just
The
like
position.
this. Take on
Knight e4
d4.
into d4, bishop g5.
Yeah, bishop g5 looks good.
Or do you want to try and?
You know, yeah, bishop c4, something like this, maybe.
No, but bishop c4 is a knight, yeah. So he does go for knight e4, but a bit reluctantly after a bit of thought. That e takes d4, bishop g5. It's a very complex question here, and still not totally clear. I would try and, but also white threatens d into e5 now, yeah, because earlier if he did this, there was bishop into c5 and the d3 bishop was hanging, but now that's not the case anymore. I guess f5 was the problem. F5 was what kept Arjun thinking for so long. A very strong move, dislodging the knight from e4. So after knight f6 check, there is just king f7, and here I don't see any moves for white anymore. Bishop g5, h6.
Did take c5 maybe first? Knight takes c5.
But then bishop into c5, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Now maybe just bishop b1, bishop a2, but h6 is a threat. Yeah, bishop b1, h6, and piece is lost, yeah? You have to go some knight e8 check, knight c7, but Arjun under so much pressure. He's under so much pressure on the clock. He also has a scoreboard pressure. He's down by 3 points if he loses this game.
Wow. Yeah, that's again big score. So seconds on the clock. 6 seconds for Arjun, 24 for Denis. Also, the time situation is just better for Black, and usually 2 pieces are stronger and better to work together than just 1 rook.
Yeah, totally. 2 pieces dominating, and Arjun has too little time to, but he can still hold this game. I think it's a terrible question, but in the time scramble, things can happen.
It might be our first draw in this match. So far, we have not seen a draw. But what happens if Black takes the a3 pawn now with the knight?
I think he just doesn't want to take his knight far away. Oh, now he's losing. He's lost this pawn, and the g2 pawn is also likely to fall. Knight e3 incoming next. Bishop into f3 and bishop into g2 check. Everything falling. He's going for stalemate here, Keti.
True, and having rooks is the best actually. Like you can easily give up your rook.
Yeah, but bishop e4, bishop f5 check, and he's lost everything. He just didn't take knight into f5 because he wanted to. Oh, look at
Rook
that!
h2. Rook h2 was a very strong move. Wow, rook g5 was a nice one.
You know, the way this match is going, Katie, I don't think Arjun's going to be able to pull back.
Mhm.
It's a typical. I've seen quite a few of these matches, and Dennis is just not giving up on his lead. He's keeping the momentum going, and every time Arjun has a few wins and is looking to strike back, Dennis keeps pulling ahead, and I think he's a huge favorite to win this match now.
Wow, yeah. Keeping this. Then what do you think, like, for instance, if we have 3 points difference, no more than 3 points, can Arjun strike back in the bullet section? You probably know. Also,
It is
how
possible,
games play.
but Arjun hasn't, played online chess in a really long time, especially the bullet. He did play in the bullet championship though. He did defeat a couple of very strong players. He defeated Ronak, and he also defeated Jordan Van Forest. But that was 1+0. And so far, Dennis has been playing such seamless chess. So I just don't see any reason why he would struggle in the bullet portion.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay,
Even in the times,
yeah, go ahead.
even in the time scrambles we have observed so far, with less than 10 seconds, Dennis has been completely at home. He hasn't been any worse than Arjun at the very least, and arguably he has even played better than Arjun in those critical moments. So I just don't feel like the momentum is going to change anytime soon.
I see. Okay, so g5. Maybe what black wants here is the king side attack at some point, like to play f4 to close this a little bit, and then to strike back with h5 and open the h file. Knight is under attack. What black can do is knight to h3 check and then f4 to save this knight. Otherwise, if you bring this knight back now, then you will drop g5 pawn. So now black can try.
But
f4.
what do you play now?
Oh,
Yeah, queen h6. And then maybe bishop c8 and f4, yeah?
Yeah.
So he tries to prevent that. He has his knight on the light square and then maybe pawn to g4.
Yeah, this might be a chance for black to... Black can have really good attack. g4, trying to kick this rook back.
Yeah, and also it just closes down the king side. Rook f7. I was tempted with knight g3 and knight f5, but that's easily controlled by bishop c8. He cannot play c5 because d5 would hang. So white has reached that point where he wants to probably trade with bishop into f4, but that creates threats on the f3 point. So white had reached that point where it was not so easy to make a move. He goes for b5, potentially with the idea of a4, a5, but it's kind of not his first choice, I think. And now Arjun has some serious threats on the f3, g4 point. Bishop to g4 is an instant threat, taking advantage of the e4 knight hanging. So the match has moved to a point where both these players are just winning with the black pieces every game. How many black wins have we had in a row, Katie and chat?
Yeah, I think a lot. Yeah, because
black has won. I think
from break, right? After the break, the final break.
Yeah, from the final break, or maybe even before that. Chat, how many games has black won in a row so far in this match?
Yeah, to get the advantage with white, it's sometimes hard. So is it possible to pick up now g5 pawn?
You could, but I would pick up the f3 pawn, and in the last position, you have weaknesses all around the light squares, yeah? So Arjun is basically aiming to checkmate white on the light squares.
Yeah.
Bishop to g4, bishop f3.
And Sri, they don't have any engine now. They just look at this position, and I kind of have a feeling that Arjun feels very confident. And Arjun feels like he's the one who is attacking, and he's the one who has advantage here. And it's
Yeah, I think Arjun is just mating. Have this bishop on h3, let's say. You cover the g2 square, you cover the f1 square. You create mating threats on a g file as well as the f file. Bishop f3 with the idea of queen h3 also works. I think you can go queen h3 now.
Yeah, let's go.
Or do you want to play bishop e4 and put the queen on f3?
Rook f4.
It's like a
You know what?
buffet.
I like this idea. You know why I like this idea? Because after this queen moves, there is rook g7, king g7, and queen g5 check. So he wants to.
Wow! What a beautiful finish.
Arjun is a boss. Look at how he's sitting like nothing happened. Wow. That is
King
brilliant.
g1, there's rook h1 mate, and rook h3, there's rook g2. So Arjun hitting back once again down to a 2-point lead. Chat, let's go Arjun OP in the chat, and let's hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Let's come in numbers, more and more of Arjun OP.
Wow, look at this. Oh my god, I could not imagine that he played rook f4 for this queen sacrifice. That's a brilliant one. I think that's the best game I have seen so far in this match. I'm really impressed.
Well, that was certainly the best finish I have seen in some time, actually. Not just in this match, not just in the JSCC, but I think in any game this month.
True.
What a beautiful way to finish. Queen into h2. A dream finish by Arjun there. 8-6. And this is likely to be the last game in this segment, Keti. We have like 6 minutes remaining. And Arjun will really want to strike back with the white pieces and narrow down the lead, yeah?
Yeah, that's what he wants. And if he wins this game, then the difference will be just 1 point, and that's nothing, actually. It's just nothing. You can win one game and it will be equal. So that's what he's hoping for. And I think he is just trying to play some solid move, solid opening, and just try to keep the chances to win, or maybe draw is also fine for him, but not lose, not to increase the difference between the points. So he just needs to play a little bit safer now.
Yes, you're absolutely right. He has to slam the brakes, yeah? He has to stop bleeding with the white pieces. He can't lose every single game with white the way he has lost. But speed chess is an interesting format. It doesn't allow you to, have that kind of solidity that you can do in all other formats of chess. It just doesn't allow you to do that. You have only 3 minutes. There are no breaks in between the games. It keeps your heartbeat high. It keeps your blood rushing. And you just don't have time to stabilize things at all. You don't have time to say, oh, look, stop and stabilize and then continue. You just don't have that. You're just constantly in the flow. You're constantly running. And that makes it very difficult to be solid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true. Okay, here we have pair of bishop for black. Do you think?
Yeah, once again, it's an advantage for black.
Uh-huh.
Once again, it's an advantage for black, and we're not sure if the timer was accurate there. So we have removed the timer. We'll be back with an accurate timer. It can be, this is maybe not the last game. Maybe there will be 2 more games in this segment. And Arjun should really try to make a draw in this game. Try not to lose this one. Go to the bullet segment with a 1-point deficit if possible, instead of, a 2-point deficit or a 3-point deficit, because bullet, he will start with a lot of momentum, and if he can win the first game, he will equal the score for the first time in the match. And there's a lot of difference equaling the score and being down by 1 point from a psychological perspective. Being down, you always feel like you're chasing.
I just wanted to point out, Sri, that when we started and when we looked at this match previous time in the previous match, I would never imagine that Arjun is the one who would try to equalize the score. But yeah, for some reason he's struggling, and Dennis is a really strong opponent for Arjun, but. I think it's not as big difference as in the other match. This match is very close, as I can see now. It's 2 points, 3 points, not too much when Bullet Section is still ahead of us.
Yes, but also I think Nihal is just the master of the speeches format. He's like the Hikaru of JSCC. He's an absolute favorite in terms of FIDE. Maybe Arjun has a higher rating than Nihal now. But in terms of the speeches format, I think Nihal is perhaps the best junior out there. If you don't count Ali Reza, who has kind of retired from the speeches, the junior speeches, and the other things. So Ali Reza is
Do you
a
think
bit
it's
like
because of the candidates tournament, or he just he doesn't play recently the online events?
he doesn't play recently the online events, especially the junior speeches was a bit of it's a bit too easy for him. But having said that, that would also be true for Nihal because he has won the last 2 editions. But Nihal is still here playing it, even though he reached the quarterfinals of the previous speeches championship, destroying people like Rapport and Grishchuk. But Ali Reza has just not been around for a while now.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I don't know if it's part of his preparation at the candidates tournament. Probably he's playing still some blitz games for practice, but with some secret account, not at the account that we know, just for trainings. But that's a very good point. I never thought about that, but I have not seen him in many for a long time already. Yeah, I haven't seen him.
Yeah, can't help but. Somehow he feels like Fisher. I just sense a bit of similarities between Ali Reza and Fisher, and I don't know. I just, but I do hope that Ali Reza plays chess for a lot longer than Fisher did.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Well, for starters, he has shown that kind of a genius, which Fisher showed at that time, a once in generation talent.
Mhm.
Oh, this looks bad for Arjun.
It looks very bad. G4 was a threat, so he trades the pawns there, and he wants to guard G3 now. So after G4, he wants to play King E4, and Black wants to take Knight on C3. So Bishop on E2 would be hanging. So White has to push G pawn forward, and here we have this position. 2 bishops are extremely strong in the end game.
Yeah, and he has only 4 seconds remaining, Keti. Oh, he's fighting back here. He's managed to activate his rook, and this knight will also get active with knight c5. Incoming pretty soon. The g5 pawn is hanging. Knight into g5, knight c5. I like knight c5, but he goes knight into g5, rook into
G4. Maybe knight f7, 3. That's what he wants to play. Knight f7 and trade the light square bishop.
Oh, something happened there. I don't know what happened. I think I was. That was a proper bullet.
That's a hyper bullet. Wow. He's getting this C6 pawn.
At the end of everything, Arjun has managed to make a draw here. Do you think this can be a turning point, Keti? Arjun managing to get this to a draw. What? Why did he do that? Why is he trying to win? Make a draw, Arjun. Come on, please. He almost blended it away, Rook f1 check there.
Okay, yeah, rook should be on a file for sure. and bishop on d5. This is a draw. This he should make next moves really fast. And
Yeah, but he
king
wants to
on-
win. Oh, he's winning this. He's winning this. He's winning this. He's won this.
How the king jumped from f5 to d6. They played so fast.
Amazing. He just won that out of sheer willpower. And there's still one more game, guys, in this segment. It's 8-7, and if Arjun wins this, he will equalize. He's riding the momentum. Once again, chat, let's go Arjun OP in the chat. And do hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Let's go, guys. Let's get that support going. Let's get Arjun to equalize in 3+1 segment and go to the bullet on equal terms.
Really look at the body language. He was sitting on the, he was lying on the back when he was down to 3 points, and now he's so ready. He thinks and he wants to end this portion with no difference. He wants to equalize it now, and then in bullet, if things goes in this way, he will be absolute favorite.
Yes, he was sitting like a sad puppy, and now he's sitting like a puppy which has seen some food and it just jumped.
Tail going around. 1 point. One last point.
Exactly.
That's actually, and on the other hand, the face impression of Denis shows that he's very disappointed by the things went in this match. In the
Yeah,
last
these are the kind of games that drive you to a tilt.
yeah.
Games that you lose when you have no business losing them.
Yeah.
And now
he's
Reed-
really pawn eater. He's taking all the pawns.
Yeah, you see pawn, Arjun takes it. Arjun is, I think, a bigger pawn grabber than Yasser.
Answer. Arjun is new, yes sir. Yeah, knight c5 I like very much. To
Queen
attack
g4?
This queen. And rook f7 just, or rook e8 even.
Yeah, the computer bar shows an advantage for white, but it's not so easy to maintain the initiative momentum with the white pieces, I think, in a blitz game, because you need to be accurate, and it's so easy to go wrong with this kind of initiative when you don't have time. In many cases, the natural moves end up being a mistake. Having said that, it's a big advantage for white that he's gotten the dark square bishop, and the king side feels really fragile for Arjun.
Why he took pawn on b2? The moment he took this pawn on b2, the things went wrong for him, right? Like he could bring the knight first on c5 and try to find maybe e6 even to get rid of this backward pawn. But taking on b2, that to me is like something you lose some time. But yeah, he likes to grab some pawns, and yeah, here we have this position. White again has pair of bishop advantage, and black has a little bit weak king. Like, how about h4, h5 here?
Yes, that is a problem which Arjun is thinking about. So he goes d6. Maybe he wants to try and get in e5. But e5 doesn't work right away because of d into e6. And with rook g5, you also have to watch out for rook into g6. Bishop c8 and bishop f5 at some point, Keti?
Bishop c8 and bishop f5?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, looks good. e6, he goes e6 now. This is not the best move. How about f5 at some point? Even here, how about f5?
Yeah, this is the problem, yeah. In Blitz, it's so easy to, like, you have these options, you have to choose, and you don't have time to choose. And those things are the most, those are the times when we make mistakes most often.
Oh, wow,
I'm scared,
something is
Keti.
happening. h5 probably? f5.
F5 was the move. I was hoping for bishop a6, bishop d3, to be honest. F5 is devastating. F into g6
But
is incoming.
the move we
and
suggested earlier, bishop c8, bishop f5, would also control f5 square.
yes, now the problem is why black can just take f into g6 and it's probably game over.
But And then rook f8. Oh, okay. F takes g, rook takes g6, and then rook f8.
Yes.
Oh no.
F8 g6 is really strong, and he sees it, and he goes for it.
Mhm.
He goes for it. I don't see how Arjun survives this one. He's barely hanging on, but the white king has a very safe square on h2. Like, queen e3 check, the king goes to h2, and it's pretty safe there. The queen goes to c3, and white has all these pieces on the king side, just waiting to devour black's king. Black just doesn't have any counterplay at all.
Yeah, sadly, it seems that black weakened the king side too much. Yeah, white is thinking, right? Time is
Yeah, white is
running,
thinking.
so-
Yes, white is thinking. The stream hasn't frozen.
Queen
How do
c3,
you
so it was
do you have a move here? Any
so
move?
hard to suggest. Rook is hanging.
Rook
Queen
g6
g7.
maybe?
I'm thinking about some fancy moves like Queen g7, but it's not working.
Yeah, rook g6 was the only move that survives from being mated.
Rook to f8, queen.
No, but I would still hang on. Rook f8, queen e3 check. I'd still hang on as black. If white can misplay these types of positions, which are so attractive, but not so easy to play the best move.
Sure.
And now rook e8. Play rook e8. Oh, okay. Rook f8 is also not bad. And I think he's kind of got things back in control. The rook comes to f7, and then everything is safe. Yes. Rook f7 and rook g7, and things are back. And Denis is not going to be happy. He's going to be like, "Oh my god, another game? Really? I was so winning in this game."
Oh no. Yeah, that's what he could actually think in this situation. Oh my god, they are playing so fast.
Queen e5, queen b2 check, queen g6. Yeah, keep the queen on f5, defend the d7 knight. Don't get mated. Yes, knight f8. Queen d5 check is a threat. Queen d5 loses with a check. The queen has to go back. Now, at least he can keep giving these checks. Knight to g6. Yeah, first defended pawn. Yeah, knight to g6. Knight to e5. Maybe knight e7. Yes, take this pawn. Now he's a pawn up, Keti. He could win this. It's the worst way to lose with white.
No way. Knight b4. He will start to give some checks now, and the queen and knight, they are tricky together. Knight d4, next move.
Queen f, yeah.
Queen f3,
you don't want to trade queens because the white king is weak. Queen b3 check, queen e3, queen e1, queen e3 check, queen e3 check. Yes, queen e1 is mate.
Wow, that is a magic. You cannot call it other way. He was losing so much. It was game over, and then he got just one chance, and he used it. Wow.
Yes, Arjun
nice
OP again, chat, and do smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. If this game doesn't deserve that, I don't see which game does.
True. Bar was dancing. Our chat says Bar was crazy, I think, with this moves. But you guys, they're playing on the seconds. Very difficult position. So, Shri, is it 8-8? Wow. What a
Yes,
comeback.
it is 8-8, Katie. At the end of Blitz, it is 8-8. But Arjun is the one with the momentum. He has scored 6-2 in the 3+1 portion, and he has won games which he had no business winning, and that gives one hell of a momentum to carry towards the bullet portion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The thing's gonna change now. Denis unfortunately feels bad about this last game, what happened. He was winning completely this game, and also he was checkmated really badly in the previous game with the queen sacrifice. He needs to relax a little bit, put himself together, and come back for the bullet portion. And Arjun, I think he now changed his approach. He's now happier, and he knows that he can control everything, and everything is under control, and this is his chance now to play final portion of this match.
Absolutely. And before we get to the bullet portion, let's get a small break and be right back.
Okay.
If Height does not win this is such a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Oh, but he could even lose this. 98!
No, that's too much.
David, I don't know what to say.
I need a moment to recover from that.
This couldn't be right. Oh,
Whoa, Queen H1.
I'm out. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow.
What a great move.
And then Rook takes G3 back, and the queen's trapped. That is one of the most amazing queen
my
traps I've
God.
seen. Wait, B5. Oh my gosh. He's losing a piece. And look at him. He looks away. He can't believe it.
Oh my God.
Nihal trying to give checks, but actually now the pawn is moving forward. The pawn cannot be stopped. Bishop D6.
Oh, you win the
He
time.
loses on time.
What did we just witness? I think that White's position is about to collapse.
Yeah, but he sacrifices again, but
Oh
it's not a
my
sacrifice.
God.
It's a double attack.
If Height does not win this is such a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Oh, but he could even lose this. 98!
No, that's too much.
David, I don't know what to say.
I need a moment to recover from that.
This couldn't be right. Oh,
Whoa, Queen H1.
I'm out. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow.
What a great move.
And then Rook takes G3 back, and the queen's trapped. That is one of the most amazing queen
my
traps I've
God.
seen. Wait, B5. Oh my gosh. He's losing a piece. And look at him. He looks away. He can't believe it.
Oh my God.
Nihal trying to give checks, but actually now the pawn is moving forward. The pawn cannot be stopped. Bishop D6.
Oh, you win the time.
He loses on time.
What did we just witness? I think that White's position is about to collapse.
Yeah, but he sacrifices again, but
Oh
it's not a
my
sacrifice.
God.
It's a double attack.
If Height does not win this is such a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Oh, but he could even lose this. 98!
No, that's too much.
David, I don't know what to say.
I need a moment to recover from that.
This couldn't be right. Oh,
Whoa, Queen H1.
I'm out. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow.
What a great move.
And then Rook takes G3 back, and the queen's trapped. That is one of the most amazing queen
my
traps I've
God.
seen. Wait, B5. Oh my gosh. He's losing a piece. And look at him. He looks away. He can't believe it.
Oh my God.
Nihal trying to give checks, but actually now the pawn is moving forward. The pawn cannot be stopped. Bishop D6.
Oh, you win the
He
time.
loses on time.
What did we just witness? I think that White's position is about to collapse.
Yeah, but he sacrifices again, but
Oh
it's not a
my
sacrifice.
God.
It's a double attack.
If Height does not win this is such a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Oh, but he could even lose this. 98!
No, that's too much.
David, I don't know what to say.
I need a moment to recover from that.
This couldn't be right. Oh,
Whoa, Queen H1.
I'm out. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow.
What a great move.
And then Rook takes G3 back, and the queen's trapped. That is one of the most amazing queen
my
traps I've
God.
seen. Wait, B5. Oh my gosh. He's losing a piece. And look at him. He looks away. He can't believe it.
Oh my God.
Nihal trying to give checks, but actually now the pawn is moving forward. The pawn cannot be stopped. Bishop D6.
Oh, you win the
He
time.
loses on time.
What did we just witness? I think that White's position is about to collapse.
Yeah, but he sacrifices again, but
Oh
it's not a
my
sacrifice.
God.
It's a double attack.
White does not win this. This is such a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Oh, but he could even lose this. 98!
No! That's too much.
David, I don't know what to say.
I need a moment to recover from that.
This couldn't be right. Oh,
Whoa, Queen H1.
I'm out. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow.
What a great move.
And then Rook takes G3 back. And the queen's trapped. That is one of the most amazing queen
my
traps I've
God.
seen. Wait, B5. Oh my gosh. He's losing a piece. And look at him. He looks away. He can't believe it.
Oh my God.
Nihal trying to give checks, but
Today, the queen is going to be chased by a swarm of angry bees. Well, actually a swarm of angry minor pieces. We're going to look at a queen battling against the minor pieces, and most of today is going to be a queen versus 2 minor pieces, but occasionally, when you give away your queen, you get 3 bumblebees, and I would say 3 bumblebees can overwhelm a queen most of the time. Now, before we get started,
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the JSCC between Arjun and Dennis. We are back on live, and the bullet portion has started. And still quite early into the game, Katie.
Oh my god, I was so late.
I know. We are back on
I was
livers
so
for
late.
you, not the chat.
Oh no. So what's going on, Srin? It's the first game still yet?
Yeah, there is the first game. We are tied at 8-8. The time has just started. It's going to be 30 minutes of bullet action, Katie. And Arjun with the momentum.
All right. So I like the knight going around and attacking this e6 weakness. This pawn is weakened now. How about bishop f1, bishop h3, just to get this bishop back?
It's a great idea.
Second.
First knight to e5 and then bishop f1 and bishop h3. I can totally see it happening. The bishop will get onto this diagonal at some point, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. This knight of black, one knight on d5 is obviously a very good knight, but another knight on c7, it's a bit passive. So black is trying
Dennis
to
has
move
won
this
the pawn on
around.
d4.
Oh,
And
he's not taken that?
No, he just wants to improve his knight. He heard you about criticizing his knight and chooses to improve it. But something has gone wrong.
Yeah, no, with the c6 pawn, white is just fine. Rook d4.
White is just a pawn up here though, Katie.
Yeah. b4 has been played. Just the thing is that really hard to improve this queen side, right? With the double pawns.
Yeah, you don't have to. Just defend this knight with f4 and then rook g6 check, rook g7 and you're winning this pawn, I think. So, he just puts the knight on c5, yeah? Yeah, knight c5, there's knight. What? What was that move, king h2? Was he expecting Dennis to take this pawn, really? Come on, Arjun. You're not playing against me.
Really? You pick up the post like that? I can't believe it.
I could. Nihal and Arjun, they have
These
this
expectations from you, right?
Yes. Oh, they make so much fun of me.
Really? Oh.
Yes. It's so sad.
What kind of jokes? Like fun, age-related jokes?
The blundering jokes.
Oh no.
Now it's going to be a draw. The first draw of the match. The First draw of the match happening now.
Yeah,
There we
that's
have
a
it.
draw.
That's the first draw of the match, chat. And
First draw, yeah, after playing so many hours and so many games, that's it.
Arjun back with the Queen's Gambit. He plays a mainstream opening. In the whole match, he's been playing with the side variations, the dubious lines, but he goes into a mainstream opening for once, which is interesting. People would usually do the opposite, play some mainstream openings in the blitz and play sidelines in the bullet.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe Arjun could play his. Oh my God, Shri, what are you eating? Like you're.
I was hoping to sneakily take a bite, hoping that you wouldn't notice, but I'm really sorry. Crocodiles can stay without food for a long time. Humans can't.
True. There was a nice try that he wanted to hide it, but you can't hide it. Not food. Maybe something else, but not food. So Queen H7 now is a serious threat. Maybe it's time to take the rook and Queen G7.
Yes, you want to get rid of that attacking piece.
Mm-hmm.
King to e7. Queen. No, but if you trade the queens, you will lose the c3 pawn. If you don't trade the queens, the king is not safe.
I think to repeat it now most is just fine. White doesn't want to repeat the move.
This opens up the a file for the rook. And rook a2, really nice move, threatening queen f2 check. And the c pawn combined with this threat, it makes things really dangerous for white.
It does.
Can he just take this pawn? You have these two pawns. Go into. Yeah, he does that.
Oh, he
Take
took it.
b4, pawn goes all the way to b3. I think Arjun is going to win this one.
Wow.
c2, b3, b2, and it's game over, Keti. How do you defend?
No,
I think you have to play
can't.
bishop
Just
e4 and
lose.
bishop. Sorry?
In this case,
Rook a1. No, rook a1 loses. b2 is simple.
but this is also loses.
Yeah. This loses.
Rook A1
Oh.
is just too fancy.
It loses for black there.
It loses for black. I can take it
rook
after
a8
b2
check.
rook check. Yeah. Yeah.
For the first time in the match, Arjun has taken the lead, and he celebrates that with the Catalan opening.
Yeah. Go. Let's go. He's at the right track in the very end of the match.
Yes. As the match has progressed, Arjun's play has kept becoming better and better, and so has his opening choices.
Mm-hmm. Getting improved. So Shri, now black has this majority pawn on the queen side, and white has the pawn on d3. But so far, we cannot really say that one side is worse here, another is better. It's just quite normal, standard, not standard, but quite normal position.
Yeah, quite normal position. It's pretty equal, I think. Black is totally fine here. And white never got this pawn to d4, and now black has more pawns on the queen side, so it's easier for him to create a passed pawn.
Knight c6 is a threat now. Knight c6. I want to get one of your bishops.
Keti, the last time things changed around when I took a bite and things got better for Arjun. So let's try that again and see if it works.
Okay. Who thinks this is an excuse? This is an excuse, but yeah, let's see if it works.
It's not.
Let's see if it works.
Let's see if it works.
He's thinking maybe 97, queen g5. Yeah, it worked. It worked. Surely worked. He's losing a piece.
It's not. He's threatening mate.
f6.
Queen d5 check.
Okay.
Come on, Keti.
You are lucky that I'm not strong enough to find bishop f8.
Neither
What
is
is
Denis.
it? No, like now the knight is hanging, right? On c6.
You have to go to a7. There's no other place. Knight e4, there's f6. And Arjun doesn't want to take the knight to a7. This
Knight
doesn't look
to8. Oh,
right. h6. He loses a piece. Okay, it didn't work this time. But in statistics, there is a thing called sample size. And it's a bad idea to decide anything by a sample size of 1. So
if I were you, I will not eat one day in a row after this fail that you just had. Like he lost the game because of that knight c6 move. Come on.
it's not my fault.
Died for 2 days in a row.
Come on, it's not my fault.
I don't know. Chat can judge.
Come on, chat. It wasn't my fault.
It's a fact. It's a fact. What's going on here? They're playing so fast. How about knight b3, knight d4 at some point? Maybe bishop g4 first to get... Oh, I like this knight on b3 and then d4.
Yeah.
Read it.
He didn't need to do that, did he? He could have... But I guess he just wants to go to a simpler position. f5? You want to go to f5? Oh man, I didn't see that backfire like that. What is wrong with you, Arjun? Come on, play well. You can't do this to me. Come on, Arjun. Now I have more reasons to cheer for Arjun. That depends on my basic survival.
f5 now, yes. f5.
I mean, he plays Catalan first of all.
Yeah.
And now, just as I do this, he does this to me, making things worse. He loses with Catalan. He doesn't allow me to eat. How much more does he want to punish me? He takes away my opening. He takes away my food. I don't know when he's
I don't
going to
know
stop.
why he's paying for it. What would have you done to him? But he's clearly paying to you. Is this very bad position for black, or black can strike back?
I don't like black's position, especially this f3 move, because you've closed down everything, and white has this initiative on the queen side. On the other hand, like there's only play on the b file, and white is in control of it. Black has no counterplay on this side because he's closed down everything. But in bullet, you can create chances. With bullet, it's not so easy for.
F4.
Now some knight into g3, queen e3 check, queen h6. Ignore this pawn. This is exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah, if queen takes c7 and bishop e7, there will be no check. Now you can try queen h4, queen h1.
Now you can actually even take over. Just queen. How do you do this? Queen f2.
Check.
Do you take this first? Do you have some queen f2? Yeah, queen f2.
Queen f2.
And maybe just take this pawn.
If Arjun wins this game, you can have 2 bites.
Thank you, Arjun. Thank you, Keti. Thank you, chat. Arjun has done it. He goes into a 1-point lead, and
enjoy your 2 bites, big ones. Oh my god, that makes me also hungry. So let's talk a little bit about the game. Sri, he's not like going to the main openings, right? Like with the white pieces, he's not controlling the center, which we usually like to do. Why he's doing this? Like why he's still playing to trying to play these sidelines?
It's just easier to play because it's just easier to play. It's just easier to place your pieces in these sidelines. You don't have to remember what the next move is, the theory is. And also, I guess it makes sense for Arjun to just try and be solid with the white pieces because he's been losing control so much with the white pieces.
Right.
So he just wants to keep things simple, and it's very challenging if you have to remember the opening in a blitz or a bullet game, and things can go out of control really quickly. So I think it's just easier to play in these side variations.
Although he might have these variations for online chess, like he just like wants to have them and play them and not the over the board, or maybe he doesn't want to show his repertoire. There can be many reasons. I'm really curious and just want to know what is exactly going on when he's choosing this kind of openings.
Yeah, I think that's what is going on. He just wants to keep things simple, and it's also working for him, by the way. He's able to play fast, and yeah, he's able to play fast, and I think he also has a pretty comfortable position out here.
Yes, the king is quite active, and I'm thinking about, okay, yeah, he's playing really fast. He got e6 pawn as well, so that's extra pawn for him, and he can slowly start to improve the position here, like attack the rest of the pawns and start to push like pawns in the center. 95 also possible, 95, 96, 96 moves.
Yeah, now he has everything protected with the knight on d3, and just f4 is nice, knight e5 check, and rook b8. Eventually, he wants to push the king to the 8th rank, knight e5 check. The king has to move back, and now even d6 is tempting. He goes for it, and now d7 looks tempting. Rook into f6 is a threat. Now hunt the bishop, and don't take it for a piece. I think get something more out of it, and that he goes for. What? Why did he go for this of all things? He had a brain fade there. This is still winning though. Rook g6 check, rook into h6. He was still 2 pawns up, but he was winning a piece there. He was mating him, and then he goes for 2 pawns up.
Wow, that's weird. Okay, this is winning. This is clearly winning. The king. Okay.
Maybe it was a clever strategy to take the game longer. You know, we are in the bullet portion. We are playing with a timer, and Arjun has taken a 2-point lead, guys. He spent the whole match lagging behind, but now he has a 2-point lead.
Our board is frozen, and is it?
No, it looks fine now.
Yeah.
Maybe for a few seconds.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's a bit delayed then. Yeah, he's that's actually what we predicted, right, at the beginning. Like, he was struggling in 5+1 section. He has played so many chess tournaments, so many classical chess. He's tired. He just recently ended yesterday another tournament, so he doesn't want to play long games. And 5+1 can be a really long game. I've myself never played because I think it's too long for Blitz. And then he wanted to end it very quickly and to go to the bullet portion. And here we see him being a clear favorite and just feeling comfortable to play this portion.
Yeah, I mean, I know what you're talking about. I find Title Tuesday 2 to be a lot longer than the Arena Kings. The difference between 3+1 and 3+0. So if that feels slow, then 5+1 feels a lot slower for sure.
Can you imagine?
Wow, bishop into h3. He's going in. He's going for it. Bishop into h3, g into h3, queen into h3. The queen eyeing the f3 square, and if knight g1, then it's knight g3 checkmate.
Oh, beautiful, you guys. Knight g1, attacking the queen, and knight g3. Checkmate. Smother mate it can be. Wow, nice one. Nice.
He just defends the bishop. Now, how can you get the black bishop to d4, Keti? Would you play some bishop f8 and try to get that bishop to c5? Just knight f6.
Moves, yeah. Okay, he moved to rook to d1, so maybe, yeah, this is a possibility. Knight f6.
Knight into e4, wow, beauty. Knight f2,
Oh,
checkmate
no.
in the air. Bishop into e4, he would just meet it with rook into e4.
Ah, okay.
And finally, white has blundered.
Wow.
Just rook e8 here. Rook d8 also works. The d4 knight is hanging. Queen f3 check is a threat. Yeah, and now queen f3 check. Or rook c8 first. Rook c8 is winning for sure. But I think queen f3 check also. And here, white has just 2 seconds. Rook e8. All the pieces coming in. Rook e2 unstoppable now. Queen g4 check, rook e2 incoming. Rook into h2 check, rook e2 check in the air. And then after queen h3 it's checkmate. Oh, rook h2 was winning there. Wow!
No. Oh no.
Oh, queen into f3 and queen g2 checkmate. That was just too much pressure for Denis. Just
That
too
was
much
black.
pressure.
Horrible. So more points for Arjun. Oh, okay, everybody who was crying here at the beginning when we had this blitz portion, now everybody's smiling in the chat for Arjun because he truly deserves it and he truly deserves this support from you guys because he's super strong. Shri, he's super strong in this portion.
Absolutely. And chat is urging me to take a bite. So I'm doing this just for the chat. Which probably the chat also thinks I totally deserve after so many Arjun wins.
Wow.
Sorry, Katie.
You truly deserved it, Shri. You truly deserved it. Let's go. And we need you to have you here with energy because last 10 minutes here. How many games do you think we will see in bullets in 10 minutes?
4.
4.
No, 5.
Okay.
But the standard of play has been really high in this match, I think. We didn't see any shot. Oh, now Denis is in a tilt. He lost the a5 pawn. The c5 pawn is also set to fall. Yes, pawn to b6 and knight b5 incoming. Very strong move. Arjun going for the initiative and he will take that c5 pawn, but not when, now he's just losing everything. And there's going to be a checkmate on a8 after rook ca1. So black has to resign and Arjun will take a 4-point lead with that. Oh, he just takes the bishop.
Checkmate. It's a checkmate. That's it. Whew. Too many things happening. Denis already feels like this is not going the way as it started. And you can see the face impression as well. Yeah, he kind of lost also, like not lost, but he was using so much of his energy, right? At some point he might feel exhausted emotionally.
Absolutely. It's actually brutal. The format can be brutal. Once you start losing, you get into a tilt and you lose a few games in a row. It feels totally like boxing, but on a psychological level, it literally feels like you're being punched. And maybe the speeches
Have you ever been
organizers.
punched, Shri, in boxing? Have you practiced boxing?
No, but I watch people getting punched.
Okay, that's the
Like
better scenario, right?
For sure.
Okay. So this is very good position for black, and I kind of feel like Arjun has all this confidence now. He knows what he's doing. He knows he's good at this, and he knows he's the leader now. And he sacrificed the b6 pawn to get the knight on d4, sorry, and maybe even double the rooks on h-file, or rook and queen.
Yes. And in bullet, initiative matters a lot. Yeah, it's about how easy the position is for you to play, not how many pawns you have. So you can see that he's just going for the initiative in these games, in the bullet portion specifically. Doesn't want to trade the rooks, but I don't know if that's a great strategy here. because not really sure about but maybe he has a chance now. I'm not really sure about the viability of his attack. And now this rook on h7 is kind of stuck on h7. The h file is closed completely. So the rook on a7 better make things work.
Yeah, and Sri, our chat points out that Arjun just crossed 3,000 in this match, as he's now winning his games. He just crossed this barrier as well.
Yes, it's a bit like the loot you get, when you have won something, and here he has basically pummeled his opponent into a state of submission psychologically. He was calculating this queens, and now queen f8 check and queen d8 check is a draw. But I think he just wanted to make sure there's no checkmate out here. He has to go queen d8, white has to go queen d8 because rook b6, king g5, and then there is f6 and there's defended. So this is a draw, and it's 14-10. Only the second draw of the match. What a match this has been.
Yeah, not too much of the peaceful games, and they had decisive results in almost all the matches, but not these last two were draw. And I think Arjun is very happy with this draw, as he's still keeping this 4 points march. And another game still in progress. We see now different play. He's very active. He knows what he's doing. He's very accurate as well, and he's also
playing good openings.
That's the main point, right?
Absolutely. That's the game changer. And chat, Arjun has reached 3,000. Let's at least get to 400 likes. Do hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Let's go.
Yeah, that's a challenge, guys. E4 now is a threat. White wants to win the knight with e4 as the queen is pinned. So black plays e4 now itself, sacrifices the pawn on e4. How about a4 and is that a4 winning the bishop there?
It does win a bishop, but I think it wins a bishop. There's some knight c3 related counterplay for black though, and black is hitting the e2 pawn. But oh wait, what's happening here?
He got 2 bishops for a rook. But black will take b5 pawn, and black will have this b5 and c4 connected pass pawns.
Indeed, it's a lot of compensation for black. But it's just 3 more minutes, Keti. So I don't think Arjun has any chances of losing this match anymore. 6-2 in the bullet portion. It feels like a tennis match. Yeah, he lost the first set 6-2. He won the second set 6-2, and now he won the third set 6-2. So he wins the match.
Yeah, that's right. 3 rounds. At some point, I thought this rook on b1 was dropped, but queen c4 was a check there, so he has full control. He's not blundering now, and I don't believe that in this last 2-3 minutes he will lose his chances to win the match.
Neither do I. I think it's a question of how high he can get his rating up to. He still has some work to do to reach my highest rating, 31-32. But I guess he will get there someday.
And then we'll laugh at you again.
Oh, that never stops.
Never stops.
It's sad because I cannot even retaliate because I'm always kind to kids and children. So they take full advantage of my kindness. The rook on c6 is going to get trapped.
It's trapped almost, like king d2, and there's no square for this rook.
Yeah, I know.
But he's not going to just wait. He wants to attack the rook and take a6
He wants to take the a6 pawn.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
Bishop c5 and bishop c6.
Bishop c6.
The 2 bishops, they are like scissors, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is brutal. This is brutal for Denis. And the last game of the match, I think.
Very likely the last one, unless there is some very quick blunder. And Arjun has 5 scores score advantage now. Wow.
Yes.
What a turn back, what a bounce back, right? Who could imagine? Like, we were so ready to cry in the end of this, in the end of a day, all of us, but the things changed dramatically.
Absolutely. And it all started with that bite I took in the first place, Keti. That was a game changer.
No, I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Come on.
No.
That gave him the energy, you know. It
You
got
want me to say
transferred.
that? So you feel guilty now. I know you feel guilty. You want me to say, yeah, sure, but no, Shri, no.
It's the truth, Keti. It's the truth.
No.
The energy got transferred to him when I took that bite. And okay.
It's okay. It was your fault, but it's okay, Shri. No one really blames you anymore, so it's fine. It's just fine.
Fine.
Right.
But what an amazing fight by Denis, though. He played so well in this match.
Dennis is a really impressive player. These first few games at the beginning, I thought that he was like top grandmaster, the way he was improving the position, and overplaying Arjun was so strange for me to see, because it's usually Arjun is the one who does this too in most of the games.
Yeah. This should be a draw, I guess. But Arjun kind of wanting to end with as best. Oh, he's going to torture Denis in this 4 versus 3. He's won the match. He has a 5-point lead. The time's up, but he's going to torture. Meanwhile, chat, we have a quick question for you before the match ends. And the question is, who was Arjun's opponent in his last classical game? Do you know that, Katie?
Which happened yesterday?
2 days ago.
Okay, 2 days ago.
And as is custom with our streams, answering questions can lead to unexpected rewards. So always be up for answering questions. Chat.
Yeah, that's why I'm not answering the question. I might get some reward. So I think I know. I think I read on somewhere on social media. But I will be quiet at this time.
You improved so much, Katie. You're just amazing. Well done. But of course,
especially. Yeah, go ahead.
No, the problem is it's not so easy for me to make reels anymore.
No, we do it on the other way. I will make it you eating food. No luck. Oh wow, that's a draw. And the time is up, Shri. And this means that Arjun has won this match nicely.
Absolutely. Arjun wins with a 5-point lead. What an amazing performance by both Arjun as well as Denis. Arjun OP in the chat, guys. Let's go. Do hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and do keep coming up with your answers while we go into a short break, and we'll be back with Arjun.
If Hike does not win this is such a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Oh, but he could even lose this. 98!
No! That's too much.
David, I don't know what to say.
I need a moment to recover from that.
This couldn't be right. Oh,
Whoa, Queen H1.
I'm out. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow.
What a great move.
And then Rook takes G3 back. And the queen's trapped! That is one of the most amazing queen traps I've seen.
Oh,
Wait, B5. Oh my gosh. He's losing a piece. And look at him. He looks away. He can't believe it.
Oh my god.
Nihal trying to give checks, but actually now the pawn is moving forward. The pawn cannot be stopped. Bishop d6.
Oh, you win the
He
time!
loses on time.
What did we just witness? I think that white's position is about to collapse.
Yeah, but he sacrifices again. But it's not a
my
sacrifice.
God.
It's a double attack.
If White does not win this is such a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Oh, but he could even lose this. 98!
No!
That's too much! David, I don't know what to say.
I need a moment to recover from that.
This couldn't be right. Oh,
Whoa, Queen H1.
I'm out. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow.
What a great move.
And then Rook takes G3 back. And the Queen's trapped! That is one of the most amazing Queen
my
traps I've
God.
seen. Wait, B5. Oh my gosh. He's losing a piece. And look at him. He looks away. He can't believe it.
Oh my God.
Nihal trying to give checks, but actually now the pawn is moving forward. The pawn cannot be stopped. Bishop d6.
Oh, you win the
He
time!
loses on time.
What did we just witness? I think that white's position is about to collapse.
Yeah, but he sacrifices again. But it's not a
my
sacrifice.
God.
It's a double attack.
If White does not win this is such a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Oh, but he could even lose this. 98!
No!
That's too much! David, I don't know what to say.
I need a moment to recover from that.
This couldn't be right. Oh,
Whoa, Queen H1.
I'm out. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow.
What a great move.
And then Rook takes G3 back. And the Queen's trapped! That is one of the most amazing Queen
my
traps I've
God.
seen. Wait, B5. Oh my gosh. He's losing a piece. And look at him. He looks away. He can't believe it.
Oh my God.
Nihal trying to give checks, but actually now the pawn is moving forward. The pawn cannot be stopped. Bishop d6.
Oh, you win the time!
He loses on time.
What did we just witness? I think that white's position is about to collapse.
Yeah, but he sacrifices again. But it's not a
my
sacrifice.
God.
It's a double attack.
If White does not win this is such a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Oh, but he could even lose this. 98!
No!
That's too much! David, I don't know what to say.
I need a moment to recover from that.
This couldn't be right. Oh,
Whoa, Queen H1.
I'm out. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow.
What a great move.
And then Rook takes G3 back. And the Queen's trapped! That is one of the most amazing Queen
my
traps I've
God.
seen. Wait, B5. Oh my gosh. He's losing a piece. And look at him. He looks away. He can't believe it.
Oh my God.
Nihal trying to give checks, but actually now the pawn is moving forward. The pawn cannot be stopped. Bishop d6.
Oh, you win the time!
He loses on time.
What did we just witness? I think that white's position is about to collapse.
Yeah, but he sacrifices again. But it's not a
my
sacrifice.
God.
It's a double attack.
Today, the queen is going to be chased by a swarm of angry bees. Well, actually a swarm of angry minor pieces. We're going to look at a queen battling against the minor pieces, and most of today is going to be a queen versus two minor pieces, but occasionally, when you give away your queen, you get 3 bumblebees, and I would say 3 bumblebees can overwhelm a queen most of the time. Now, before we get started,
If White does not win this is such a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Oh, but he could even lose this. 98!
No!
That's too much! David, I don't know what to say.
I need a moment to recover from that.
This couldn't be right. Oh,
Whoa, Queen H1.
I'm out. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow.
What a great move.
And then Rook takes G3 back. And the queen's trapped. That is one of the most amazing queen
my
traps I've
God.
seen. Wait, B5. Oh my gosh. He's losing a piece. And look at him. He looks away. He can't believe it.
Oh my God.
Nihal trying to give checks, but actually now the pawn is moving forward. The pawn cannot be stopped. Bishop D6.
Oh, you win the time!
He loses on time.
What did we just witness? I think that white's position is about to collapse.
Yeah, but he sacrifices again, but
Oh
it's not a
my
sacrifice.
God.
It's a double attack.
If Height does not win this is such a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Oh, but he could even lose this. 98!
No, that's too much.
David, I don't know what to say.
I need a moment to recover from that.
This couldn't be right. Oh,
Whoa, Queen H1.
I'm out. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow.
What a great move.
And then Rook takes G3 back. And the queen's trapped. That is one of the most amazing queen
my
traps I've
God.
seen. Wait, B5. Oh my gosh. He's losing a piece. And look at him. He looks away. He can't believe it.
Oh my God.
Nihal trying to give checks, but actually now the pawn is moving forward. The pawn cannot be stopped. Bishop D6.
Oh, you win the time!
He loses on time.
What did we just witness? I think that white's position is about to collapse.
Yeah, but he sacrifices again, but
Oh
it's not a
my
sacrifice.
God.
It's a double attack.
If Height does not win this is such a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Oh, but he could even lose this. 98!
No, that's too much.
David, I don't know what to say.
I need a moment to recover from that.
This couldn't be right. Oh,
Whoa, Queen H1.
I'm out. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow.
What a great move.
And then Rook takes G3 back. And the queen's trapped. That is one of the most amazing queen
my
traps I've
God.
seen. Wait, B5. Oh my gosh. He's losing a piece. And look at him. He looks away. He can't believe it.
Oh my God.
Nihal trying to give checks, but actually now the pawn is moving forward. The pawn cannot be stopped. Bishop D6.
Oh, you win the time!
He loses on time.
What did we just witness? I think that white's position is about to collapse.
Yeah, but he sacrifices again, but
Oh
it's not a
my
sacrifice.
God.
It's a double attack.
If Height does not win this is such a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Oh, but he could even lose this. 98!
No, that's too much.
David, I don't know what to say.
I need a moment to recover from that.
This couldn't be right. Oh,
Whoa, Queen H1.
I'm out. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow.
What a great move.
And then Rook takes G3 back. And the queen's trapped. That is one of the most amazing queen
my
traps I've
God.
seen. Wait, B5. Oh my gosh. He's losing a piece. And look at him. He looks away. He can't believe it.
Oh my God.
Nihal trying to give checks, but actually now the pawn is moving forward. The pawn cannot be stopped. Bishop D6.
Oh, you win the time!
He loses on time.
What did we just witness? I think that white's position is about to collapse.
Yeah, but he sacrifices again, but
Oh
it's not a
my
sacrifice.
God.
It's a double attack.
If Height does not win this is such a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Oh, but he could even lose this. 98!
No, that's too much.
David, I don't know what to say.
I need a moment to recover from that.
This couldn't be right. Oh,
Whoa, Queen H1.
I'm out. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow.
What a great move.
And then Rook takes G3 back. And the queen's trapped. That is one of the most amazing queen
my
traps I've
God.
seen. Wait, B5. Oh my gosh. He's losing a piece. And look at him. He looks away. He can't believe it.
Oh my God.
Nihal trying to give checks, but actually now the pawn is moving forward. The pawn cannot be stopped. Bishop d6.
Oh, you win the
He
time!
loses on time.
What did we just witness? I think that white's position is about to collapse.
Yeah, but he sacrifices again. But
Oh
it's not a
my
sacrifice.
God.
It's a double attack.
If White does not win this, this is such a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Oh, but he could even lose this. 98!
No, that's too much.
David, I don't know what to say.
I need a moment to recover from that.
This couldn't be right. Oh,
Whoa, Queen H1.
I'm out. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow.
What a great move.
And then Rook takes G3 back, and the queen's trapped. That is one of the most amazing queen
my
traps I've
God.
seen.
Today, the queen is going to be chased by a swarm of angry bees. Well, actually a swarm of angry minor pieces. We're going to look at a queen battling against the minor pieces, and most of today is going to be a queen versus two minor pieces, but occasionally, when you give away your queen, you get 3 bumblebees, and I would say 3 bumblebees can overwhelm a queen most of the time. Now, before we get started,
making full use of it, and it put me under a lot of pressure. I think I was trailing by 4 points at some point, and I thought my chess was anyway bad, so at least I'll try to play fast, and it worked out pretty well, and I continued to do so.
I saw that you are changing your openings a lot with the black pieces. Is it because he plays the Catalan opening and you wanted to just try and avoid that after your loss in the fourth game?
Well, that's one of the reasons, but also just I just wanted to freestyle and was just trying a lot of opening.
He's a nice guy. He's a nice student of yours, Sri. Come on, don't put such a pressure on him. Congratulations on a win. What a match. We were really, really shaking a little bit because it was a tough start for you. But in the bullet section, you played amazingly, and it was a big score difference. Which was your favorite time control out of these portions?
I did enjoy 1+1 the most because that's where I won most of the games. But I think 3+1 was the most crucial one because that's where I made my comeback, and after that I was pretty confident that I can take it.
Yeah, that's what we thought too. And Sri, we were talking earlier with Arjun about these conditions that he was playing. Also, our chat, we were asking like, hold on, is there someone walking in on the background? Please tell us, where are you? What's your conditions? What was happening? Was it hard for you to concentrate on chess?
So currently I'm in Menorca, Spain, and internet is not the best in the room. So I was playing from the commentary room so that I could directly plug in the cable to my computer. And internet was good, but the problem was there were a lot of people in the background, and it was slightly disturbing, but it didn't affect my chess. But mentally it was slightly tough, and after a point it all calmed down, and it was good.
Yeah, I saw it.
Was there any point in the match when you felt like okay, this is not working out, or at any point where you felt like, now I got this, I'm back in this? Did you feel any such thing, or were you just going on with the flow?
I think after winning the last 2 Blitz games, I was pretty confident, and yeah, start was pretty tough, but I didn't think it was over or anything because I knew it's a long match, and comeback is always possible.
And Arjun, do you know your opponent? Have you ever played against him, or what was your expectations in the openings? How you prepared against him? Because we don't know much about Denis, and probably also our viewers. But what about you?
Yeah, I have heard of his name before, and I'm sure he has GM strength. It's just a matter of time for him to get the title, and yeah, he's pretty talented. I think he's 3 years younger to me. He also gave Jong Jeffrey a very tough time in last year's junior pitchers championship. In the end, he lost, but it was pretty close. So yeah, I knew that it was not going to be.
Lovely. And what's next for you now, Arjun?
I'll be playing in the Sigema and closed event in May.
Starting from the 3rd of May?
Yeah.
And who else is playing out there?
The field is Jordan, Hans Niemann, Nils Ganderli, and okay, it's pretty strong. I don't remember Adam. And there are a few others, but my seeding is 6 out of 8. So I'm really looking.
With a rating of 2675, you see that 6th out of 8.
Yeah, so I really look for that.
That sounds like a pretty strong tournament, and that's all the questions I have for you. Anything more from you, Keti?
Yes, I have so many questions, but not too much time to ask. Last question would be how Europe treats you. Are you enjoying your trip in Europe, and are you happy with your overall results?
Results haven't been great so far, but they were not terrible either. I haven't gained any rating, and nor did I lose. So, but yeah, I'll have some 3 days here. Maybe I'll check what I was doing wrong and just chill here. It's pretty nice to be in Europe.
Nice. Enjoy your time and best of the luck in the rest of the tournaments you're gonna play.
Thank you.
All the best, Arjun. And thank you so much. And congratulations once again.
Thank you.
Today, the queen is going to be chased by a swarm of angry bees. Well, actually a swarm of angry minor pieces. We're going to look at a queen battling against the minor pieces, and most of today is going to be a queen versus 2 minor pieces, but occasionally, when you give away your queen, you get 3 bumblebees, and I would say 3 bumblebees can overwhelm a queen most of the time. Now, before we get started,